Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I am Green again. Hello, and we have two amazing teams, and of course, two amazing casters on both which ways of myself. We have Arties and we have Light Rose, and we're not going to stall for too much. We want to see Wichita Wolves and Pryde, of course, do what they do best and hopefully win. But only one of these guys can win tonight. All right, Light Rose, what do you have planned tonight for Wichita Wolves?
All right, well, Wichita Wolves versus Pryde. Now, both of these teams came out super strong in week one, and both of the teams that they faced didn't do so hot in the second week either. So this week is really going to be a testament of how strong these two teams can be. Both of them were on Clubhouse, and they both won pretty handily. A 7-4 and a 7-3 respectively. So will we see Clubhouse? That might be something that both of these teams know how to play. They know how to defense attack, and that's something that they're really facing the best when it comes to Clubhouse, and that's going to be pretty strong.
Sounds good to me, Gwen. What about you, Keanu Reeves?
Well, I personally saw Pryde last week absolutely perform in their matches, and I'm extremely excited to see what they're going to be able to pull off this week. And yeah, this is honestly just it's going to be a very, very competitive matchup. And well, I'm just, anything can happen today, so I'm just excited.
Fair enough. Well, anything can happen tonight with the last two maps available. We have Club, Consulate, Theme, Cafe, and Villa axed away in their primes, and we're going to be down to Oregon and Coastline. So one's TDM, the other one's pretty much the opposite of TDM. It's going to be your usual map. But here's the real question, though, Light. Which one's going to come first?
Ooh, so right now, if I'm looking at this correctly, that means this is Pryde's pick, and I don't even have to guess. It's gonna be Coastline. I was actually going to go Coastline. I can say that, but I think it's very interesting because looking at last week, we saw Wichita Wolves, at least in terms of stats. Wichita Wolves really came alive more with guns, especially if I'm looking correctly. Wholesale.
Wait, you can't use your Spidey sense?
I'm not that good. All right. Wholesale came out just absolutely dominating, had at least one kill per round, starting the opening kill 7 times, which is pretty nuts. You want to get that really, really easily. And so that's very interesting that Pryde is going Coastline, and as you mentioned, we're going also to Oregon, and that should be a very interesting map. Neither of these teams have played Oregon, so we'll really get to see how these teams shine on that map.
Sounds great to me. Arties, of course, before we start up, what is your final prediction?
So my final prediction, I think, is that it's going to be pretty close on Coastline. Coastline is usually one of those maps where, you can never really tell. It'll always go, it'll look like it'll go one way in the very beginning, and then it just gets turned right on its head every time. So, I think that that's going to happen. It's going to be a pretty close lineup in Coastline. And then I think that we're probably going to see whatever team comes out on top in Coastline, we're going to see the opposite happen in Oregon. And that's my prediction for today.
Okay, alright, sounds good. Mirror modes, like Mario Kart all over again. Rose, I didn't forget about you either. I don't think you're on the prediction sheet either, so we're gonna bang it out all the way right now. Who's gonna come out on top?
I'm thinking that Wichita Wolves, they're coming away with Coastline, and they're just going to snowball all the way through Oregon. I think Oregon's going to be a real scrap fest, but I think in the end, it is going to go to Wichita. And looking on here, 4-2, that's pretty Wichita Wolves-sided.
Yeah, absolutely. We only see two people, in fact, voting for, I believe that's going to be Pryde. We are man with the plan, the production master himself, Burme, and Azul on the opposite sides, all going to be voting for Pryde. But everybody else, including you guys, I believe, are going to go for Team Wichita Wolves. So there's going to be a little bit of discrepancies going on. Only one of you guys will be right today, and I don't know who it's going to be.
Well, I don't either, but you know what? I think that no matter what happens, we're going to be in for a very solid and fun match.
We better be. I just got front row tickets. I don't want them going to waste.
My thoughts exactly.
Absolutely. But Wichita Wolves, we can't forget about their roster either. We have a whole slew of amazing people. Some of them don't have stats just yet, but Light Rose, Gwen, break it down for me.
Yeah, I mentioned right off the bat Wholesale going 23 and 16, having that 1.26 with 7 opening kills, and then Devil right off the bat 22 and 11, 1.43, and the KDs are just absolute fire. The only one we don't have right now is Anarchy, but even I'm expecting with this team that's stacked like this, that Anarchy's KD will be near that 0.9 one region, because this whole team seems to really know their gun skills, know how to use them well, even with the more difficult ones like Faded, still using that Habana, SMG11, you master those and you're just able to find heads all day with that 72% headshot rating.
Well, isn't that the goal in life? Always finding heads, but the entire team are all flex players except for one entry. Now, Artie, that to me says that they're going to be a very aggressive team, especially on Coastline. I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
Oh, especially on Coastline, the aggressors will always have an advantage. Coastline is just one of those maps where, as long as you can, whoever's going to be breaking that spawn peak, contract first, we're going to be seeing some pretty insane aggression coming out from there, especially like we were seeing those nasty headshot percentages from Wichita Wolves. Pryde is also pretty top dog in here with these headshot percentages, especially Rizzer over here, 92% headshot percentage. I was watching him get those headshots and last week, and that was just insane.
Yeah, why can't I get so many headshots like that? But the rest of the team, of course, not going to be on the same stat level because they're going to be even better. We have Oni and Sam and Light Rose. Break it down for me. What's going on with those two and why are they so much better than seemingly most of the people in the league?
I mean, you just look at Sam helping the team. You've got that entry frag girl, so you've already got these amazing guns by your side, and you've also got your entire team backing you up, and that can really allow you just to funnel in and get these frags. That's what a good team can help you do. And 1-2 people might really come out on top, but it allows a good team like Pryde really allows Sam and Oni to just absolutely demolish through the enemy team. And I think their KOST ratings, Oni's is a little low, but I mean, they definitely make up for that in frags. Their KOST ratings as a team is really showing that they know how to work together and play the site, allow these Sam and Oni to just get these frags.
I guess you could say it's a real cost-benefit analysis. Oh, what a knee slapper. Oh, yes. But overall, I'm excited to see both of these teams go blow to blow against each other. Only one of them is going to come out on top, and of course, with infinite overtime, with only a best of 2, there could be a tie here tonight. Last night, in case you forgot, we had the second longest competitive match in Siege history at 24 rounds. And you can look at the statistics here as well. We do see Wichita Wolves being towards the very tippity top of the list at number 2. There's a reason why they're in number 2, and tonight I'm curious to see if they're going to stay in that position. Hello?
Is this thing on?
I'm curious as well. But to be honest, like we were talking about before, it's really going to be a super solid matchup today. Both these teams, they've shown off what they can do, and they've shown off that they're here to win, and they are not going to take anything less. And so I think that there's probably going to be another matchup here to potentially break Siege records as far as overtime and long running matches.
Oh man, as much as I would like to, I'd like to go to bed at a decent hour tonight. Light Rose, what's your analysis?
Yeah, I mean, Artie, it's going to be really hard to beat that Emergency Redux Rise game. Going back and forth, those two teams are at it at best. But I think this is really where Pryde can say where they are at the top dog. They can hang in that round differential, hang with the champion that is the Wichita Wolves. And right now is the time to do that. You beat one dog, you beat another. This is sounding really bad out of context, but I think you get my point.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of that kind of action, but overall I do get where you're coming from. It's like an old-fashioned fencing duel, You have the two swords going up, very old-fashioned, clinking swords up against each other. I won a fencing championship, thank you very much. But when it comes down to it, only one of them is going to come out on top. Some Pryde, some others might be scathed, who knows? But we've seen Pryde towards the very bottom of that list overall, and we see Wichita Wolves in that number 2 spot. I want one of you guys to help me break it down. What made Wichita Wolves sink to the top so far over these other teams? It could be either of you.
I think Light Rose got to take this one.
Okay, I got to take this one. Well, personally, I was going to say that I have not been in SCS so long. I know that Chief has been advocating for them forever. He is, one of his favorite teams. So I just think that their great gun skill is just absolutely what helps them, and their KOC rating is high. That's really the indication of a good support player, and they've got some great support players, great fraggers, and that's just a really all-around team. Stats may not show it, but I'm personally a stats kind of person, and I love seeing all of these stats just super high. And the Wichita Wolves, they're just on top.
Ooh, they're
Yeah,
on top for now, but let's see if that changes. Artie, what's up, man?
I mean, Pryde really can just show that they've just got this wide range of skill sets, and their players are very, very aggressive, and they've just got this spunk to them. And I think that they definitely are gonna have a very good shot today at toppling the Wichita Wolves.
I hope so. I want to see some upsets tonight. I'm gonna be upset if we don't see any upsets. It's like upsetception.
You're going to be upset about the lack of upsets, but that in itself will create an upset, and therefore you won't be upset.
Right,
We're-
my mind's going weird. You guys stop this.
Well, I like the existential. I mean, let's create a upset paradox here, an upset-adox. I'm too tired for this.
I think we could upset that.
Ooh, that sounds like a real upset
We
too.
could set that up. Set.
All right.
But yeah, overall, I totally get where you guys are coming from, but I want to hear the final predictions. I think Artie already told us it was going to be a mirror mode, probably an even 1-1. Light Rose, who's going to get that 2-0 tonight?
I'm thinking it's going to be Wichita Wolves, but I think it's going to go into overtime. Wichita Wolves, like I said, they're gonna bring it out. They're gonna finish it out on top, but I do think it's going to go to overtime, especially on the second map.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. I don't know if we're going to see overtime. I think we will for map number 2, but Coastline is such an aggressive map that I don't think it's going to be possible. But Artie, you seem to be a huge fan of this Coastline choice, so I'm curious to hear you break down that 7-4.
Well, because here's the thing, is that what I saw last week with Pryde, I saw Rizzer popping off with the aggression. And I think that if we can see Rizzer do that same level of aggression and just putting that pressure onto Wichita Wolves on Coastline, I think that Pryde is going to have a great chance here.
Oh, I hope they have a great chance. I want to see some really close action going on. And we saw the operators that both teams like to bring out as well. To be completely honest with you, it's nothing really that special from either team, but we did see Renaissance from the last set bringing out some interesting choices. Actually, no, it was 303, I believe, bringing out the knock at the very beginning. So, anything's possible, and I want to see how these operator bans are going to go. If you guys have any analysis on that, I'd love to hear.
We can't. It's one of those things that you just cannot tell until we get into the match. But I do think that, especially on Coastline, you're going to be seeing, a slightly different playstyle than they might pick up on different maps. Especially, the difference between Coastline and Oregon. On Oregon, you're relying a lot more on soft breachers, whereas on Coastline, you're going to be looking a lot more at roamers and roamer cancels. So, it's going to be one of those things that we just cannot tell until we see what each team specifically is going to be going for.
Oh man, I already see one very suspect person on Wichita Wolves side. It's gonna be the Valkyrie from Anarchy. And Light Rose, you went all out about that Valkyrie pick before, but you know what? We don't have to worry about that because you can explain it once we're about to go in game. Casters, good luck on Coastline. It's gonna be a real slaughterfest.
I'm very excited, and let's go ahead and get into it right here. Light Rose, take it away. So what do you think is going to happen on these bans?
All right, so usually what we see is Habana or Ace is usually going to be one of these attacking bans. You might see something like a Thatcher ban, but a Blackbeard ban, that might be just something that you want to stop them from falling back on. If you're struggling, you go on that Blackbeard. It's a little bit of a crutch for some people. And while it doesn't really change any strategies, it's like I mentioned, sometimes you just stop. You want to make sure that they fall through. You don't want to cushion the blow at all. And then there we go. We do see that Ace kind of hard breach coming on through. Some very typical attacking bans. Now, going on to this
Very, very
defensive side,
typical.
we might see something like a Malusi. Valkyrie is pretty prevalent on Coastline. Mira these are somewhat typical defensive bans as a Valkyrie or Mira Malusi, but they might just shift to whatever strategy these teams really want to run. And there we go. We do see the Mira.
Absolutely. There we go. Alrighty. Now let's see what's going to happen going on to this next one here. So I think that Light Rose, you should probably go ahead and take that mask off
Yeah,
here
I
and we
was.
get into the next
I
one.
wanted to make sure I hear you though.
All good, all good. So yeah, so the Mira is going to be changing things up here, and I mean that was expected, especially for Coastline. Mira ban. Oh, and Maestro ban. Okay, that's actually what I was expecting, especially when they're going to be holding Kitchen on the bottom floor here. Maestro is always going to be one of those characters that is just so incredibly important, and so having him banned is gonna it's gonna open up the Malusi, but having Maestro banned is going to be a lot more helpful, I think, for the attackers since he's gone. They don't have to deal with those pesky evil eyes. But let's see what is going to happen here. Looks like we have King Chonka up on the board, but is he going to be sixth picked here, or are we actually sticking up with the Chonky pick? Let's see. Looks like we've got Sledge, Buck, Thatcher, Ash, Zafia, and then over on this side we've got Chonka, Malusi, Mozzie, Jaeger, and Valk with no sixth pick. Looks like we are going to be seeing the king himself getting out here. I am super excited to see what the lineup is going to be here. Now, looking forward into this first round, what are the defenders going to be picking up here? So let's see, as we see Chonka setting up right inside of Hookah, and looks like he's going for that spawn peak setup with that turret placement. Yeah, look at that. Rizzer, he's getting that spawn peak set up immediately right off the bat here. And looks like the rest of Pryde is going to be setting up to play in that blue room over there on the side, as well as in games room here. We're going to be seeing the Malusi traps go out, and yeah, that's going to be extremely hard for the attackers to get a foothold here as they try to entry. But let's see what will happen getting into it.
Yeah, we're already seeing those Valkyrie cams being thrown on. Rizzer on that Tachanka turret. There is going to be one spawning there. They do see the feet. They're going to pre-fire in, and there we go. Rizzer taking Anarchy off the board. That surprise Tachanka pick coming on through.
We were exactly ready for it here, and it looks like the attackers are going to be capitalizing on that new knowledge here. We are going to be seeing a few breaches going on, but unfortunately for the attackers, they're going to be down that buck there, so they've got not a lot of soft breaching here. Luckily though, there's not a lot of room for soft breaching on this map anyway. But oh, there we go. Pryde Oni going to be taking out Tyrant here with a very, very amazing hold on that angle here. Now let's see what Thatcher's going to be able to do. Thatcher unfortunately getting picked out as well as Oni getting that double kill. Oni just doing everything he can to lock down the outside as Mozzie. That speed that Mozzie has, especially with that P10, he is absolutely doing work here. And looks like we are going to be seeing it go down to a 5v2 already. Pryde really showing off their extreme aggression into this match already here. Now look at that, Oni just like shooting through the walls here, trying to find out anything. Whereas Mr. Destroy and Faded 2K of the Wichita Wolves, they are going to be scrambling here to try and pick up the diffuser, which is going to be getting held down extremely hard by the defense here. And Faded, look at that, he's waiting for it. He knows that they're going to be peeking out at some point. He knows that he's going to be watching out for it. Riz are going to be taking out Destroy here, leaving this into a 1v5. Looks like Faded has already been revealed by the team here. He is going to be able to pick up Samuel, which is absolutely unfortunate for Pryde, but I don't think they're sweating too much. It's going to be a 4v1 situation here, and Faded already down to only 10 HP here. He is one shot, and going to be trying to do what he can, at least to save his KD and get a few picks here. But unfortunately, he is going to go down as Rizzer picks up the double kill to win the round here.
I think right there, they were just not ready for the absolute aggression coming out from Pryde. Wichita Wolves, it's one round. Like, you've definitely got time to readjust because that Tachanka pick, that spawn peak, it's very unlikely that it's going to come through again, especially on a site like Kitchen where the windows and doors aren't really there to look directly into spawn. So we're seeing, no sneaky surprise picks coming on through. We've got the same typical lineup, but there's a lot of soft destruction on the side of Wichita Wolves. Sledge, Buck, Ash, Zafia, all ready to go on that second floor and just absolutely wail on that soft destruction. I'm interested to see how Pryde's roam game is going to be because Oni just absolutely shredding with the 5'4" stature, running around with the P10 Roni is really Wichita Wolves. They need to watch out for the small Australian man. but I think they are somewhat.
Absolutely. We have seen that Mozzie really just doing work here. Oni really showing off that he is going to be just as aggressive as his boy Rizzer. And honestly, I think that staying with this this setup here, you know, they pulled out the Chonky boy and they swapped him out here because, you know, the attacker's definitely going to be waiting for it here. But it looks like the attackers are also going to be switching things up a little bit too here, and possibly, you know, that Buck and Thatcher and Ash combo here, they're going to be able to just break through wherever they're needed, especially since you know, they're also pulling out that sledge there. So all my homies really hate walls today.
Oof, that Pryde trying to get that bullet hole. They're just being super aggressive is really, I think, the play here. If they're able to get an early lead, you know, Wichita Wolves finally able to find their footing, you know, 3 rounds in, that's still 3 rounds that you get on defense. It's typical. And if you're able to really keep the same tempo on attack, that'll be absolutely wonderful. But I think the info game for Pryde here is really going to be a detriment into the side of Wichita Wolves. You know, you've got this Valkyrie, Legion, Malusi, Mozzie. All of these operators are able to give some sort of information to the whereabouts of these attackers. And with a very
Absolutely.
minimal road game, I think that could definitely be a hindrance to this attacking team.
Especially as we're seeing Buck here on the 2nd floor doing whatever he can to go in there and Destroy gonna be picking up the first kill there on Oni on the staircase there. That's a pretty powerful pickup for Wichita Wolves there. We know that Oni is just able to perform out here, but unfortunately for Wichita Wolves there, you know, Destroy and Tyrant both gonna be extremely low HP here, and that health deficit is gonna come in you know, real handy for Pryde here as they get ready to you know, just hold these sites out here. And I know that Pryde right now is really wishing that they had a Maestro, especially just to hold up on these uppers here while they've got Buck and Sledge just breaking the floor entirely. Rizzer is going to be doing whatever he can to hold this up here, but unfortunately, you know, there's just so many possible angles he can get peeked from. He doesn't have to worry just about the roof, but he's also got to worry about, you know, what's coming out from his sides here. Samuel going to be doing what he can. Looks like he's going to go for the outside peeks. He knows there's going to be at least 1 out there, but there are 2, in fact, 1 on either side, so it's not going to be looking too good for him if he does decide to go for that little overextension peek there. Oh, but it does go his way. He gets them both, and Destroyer going to be picking up Samuel there to trade it back out here, but looks like Buck also going to be going down here as Rizzer picks up a kill here. Destroy going to be taking out Sos. Dylan kills himself, and Tyrant is going to be down to a 1v1 here with just Rizzer and Destroyer. Oh my god, I didn't expect that to happen. Let's see what's going to happen though. Destroyer gets hit with that goo, and unfortunately, it almost does the damage there to kill him here. That is going to stop him enough. Ash going to be breaking through the wall, see if he can go in here, but Rizzer just waiting for it to happen. He is going to be able to take him out there to win round 2. Absolutely incredible.
I have no clue how Dylan killed himself. Like, he got the kill with the C4, but then also somehow killed himself. Like, if it was on the roof, how did it do enough damage? Like, that's just something that is definitely a really confusing thing, but a great job by Pryde really holding their angles in that absolute fire fest that happened in about 10 seconds. We saw 3-4 kills just trading on either side. And then just once the dust settled, it was Oni. And Oni is already lighting up the scoreboard. Doesn't matter how many bullets, rain of fire, optics you're given. The Roni is just a disgusting gun when put in the right hands. And the right hands, it is in. And now going up to over to double bar. I think this is Wichita Wolves' best chance to really win this. They're staying on this soft breach. But Pryde, I think they're really keeping with the strategy that they have. They're opting going for a smoke and a Wamai this time around. So no Valkyrie, less information, but more utility drain, more time wastage. And I think that'll help them on this site, really keeping these attackers out.
Absolutely, and all that soft breach really does come in handy on this map, especially as we saw last time. It really gave them that control, just breaking through the floor here. And I think that on this map, on this site specifically, they are going to have a lot of chances here to really show off what they can do with that soft breach, and just really the unspeakable hatred that they have towards walls. Let's see what's going to happen here. Oni going to be sitting on cameras trying to find where they're going for. It looks like nobody on Pryde is going to be going for them spawn peaks. Never mind, there's Oni with that dirty the bullet hole. And it looks like he's not going to be able to pick up one. He goes down instead. That didn't really work out in his favor there. It looks like that AK-12 really doing work here. Let's see what's going to happen as Wichita Wolves gets ready to breach in up on the second floor here. We are going to be seeing a small health deficit here on Anarchy and Tyrant. Looks like Oni was able to get one bullet each out on them. And so we are going to be seeing a little bit of health difference, but honestly not enough to make, to make or break the match here. However, Pryde already being down Oni yet again, that's going to just hurt them a lot. But they were able to perform last time and just win by the skin of their teeth there with that clutch, the 1v1. But I wonder what is going to happen this time, especially as Wichita Wolves, they're learning their opponents, they're learning what is happening, and I think that they're going to be ready to actually come out on top in this one. Rizzer are going to be doing some work through the walls there, however. Rizzer and Samuel playing on the staircase together, trying to get any information they can, any damage they can through the walls. Samuel backing off before he detonates the C4 this time, learning from his mistakes as well. Let's see what's going to happen now. They are going to be rotating back around. It looks like, once again, we see Wichita Wolves playing from the top and utilizing all of their soft breach utility here just to find a peek here. We see Destroyer sneaking around the back as Ash. Now, that is a cheeky play here. And is he going to be ready for this? There is going to be one camping out in that room waiting for him. And it looks like he is ready to flip on a Rizzer. That's huge. It's straight out immediately as Samuel did have Rizzer's back there. Unfortunately, just not quick enough. So it is going to go down to the 4v3 here. And let's see what Pryde's going to be able to do now. Now oh no, now it's down to a 4v1 here. Wichita Wolves really coming out on top as Dylan goes down as well. Anarchy finishing it off there. Absolutely incredible job by the Wichita Wolves.
Yeah, they're finally finding their footing. They're stopping that absolutely hurtling momentum of Pryde. And it all started with that kill just right on Oni. I mean, I have to thank him that he doing that 3 times in a row. That takes guts. And I'm glad that Wichita Wolves are finally able to catch on because it was the same window 3 times in a row. You think that they would try to change that shot up, but hey, if it works, it works. But now that Wichita Wolves, they've finally somewhat caught up with that strategy. And I think they're starting to adapt to the play style that they're bringing out, this aggressive play from Oni, aggressive play from Samuel Rizzer. And it could be a hindrance, if they're starting to take this attack 4-2, win these rounds straight over and over and over again, that momentum will transfer onto the defensive side. And it's a lot harder to be, I think, aggressive on the attacking side because that defense can really set the tempo with the gadgets that they bring. If you have a Legion, you have a Malusi, that is just going to stop that rush straight out. Valkyrie cams are going to be able to give you information. You're not going to be able to get past these high-level teams. So Pryde really has to make sure that they get their rounds where they can because this kind of aggressive push strategy won't really work as well on attack.
Absolutely, and just like you were saying, you've got those Valk cams, you've got the Mozzies for the drone. They're really going to be relying on that information, especially when you've got the Malusi Wub cannons there to give you a little bit of an audio cue as well, and smoke to help out with the push cancels. But unfortunately, they are going to have to deal with the fact that they don't have walls that they don't reinforce here. You've got to deal with that, Sledge and Ash and Buck. And, I think that's it's a little bit better for them now they're back on the second floor here. They don't have to worry about getting shot up from the top. But, they are really doing some work here. As we see even Thatcher shooting up the walls here, making sure he doesn't get on-peaked again. He's looking for it. He knows that they roam a lot down on that first floor here. And it looks like Anarchy is going to get taken out by Samuel. There's that spawn peak here. He gets a double onto Faded as well. Absolutely insane start off here. Unfortunately, he is going to go down. And it looks like Rizzer are going to be taking some damage as well here. Rizzer does end up going down from Destroyer here as Destroyer picks up almost a double kill. And, let's see if he is going to go down to finish up Samuel. Looks like he is. There we go. Ash getting that double kill there. Absolutely incredible. Now, he is going to be on a massive health deficit here into this 3v3 situation. So it does look like we are going to be seeing Pryde pick up one. Oh, no. Wichita Wolves going to be taking out Tyrant here. That's absolutely unfortunate for Wichita Wolves there. Now, not only do they have a one-man deficit, they also have a health deficit here. Oh, and as Dylan takes out Devil as well, we are going to be seeing Destroyer with just 10 HP basically here. This is not looking good. He has to clutch up 1v3. He's basically one shot. That is unfortunate.
Nothing much you can really do here. You don't have the diffuser. you have time, but there's nothing much you can really do with it. I'd say if you find a kill onto Oni, that's a round right there. Possibly take a tactical timeout, but they're gonna shoot the cam, and Oni is just gonna swing that, win that outright.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yep. Oni really just showing that he can do some work here, running with that tiny Australian man, just sprinting around the map, getting spawn peaks, getting clutch ups. You gotta love to see it.
Yeah, it's really fun to see as a caster, as an observer. It's really fun to see these absolute spawn peaks, these frags, because they're just interesting games. You get to yell and hype and double kills, triple kills. It's a great siege game to see. But if you're a Wichita Wolves fan, that isn't the best thing, because your team is losing that. You're down 1-3, and if you're not really able to even this up, you aren't going to have a good chance on this defense, because Coastline, it's really a one you want to go 3-3 on attack, because you have all these available areas for soft reach, angles to attack from. It allows really for the attacking side to gain so much observation and momentum with their gadgets. And if you're not able to capitalize on that, you're just going to be at really a disadvantage, at a loss. And, Pryde, they could go up 5-1 on here, because I believe that Pryde and Oni right now, Oni and Samuel, not Pryde and Oni and Samuel are just, they're shutting them down. I mean, Rizzer hasn't been, as stagnant, but they're there. They are tied with Samuel in that kill count, and the only one showing up on Wichita Wolves right now is Destroy. And you can't really count fire with fire when only one person's got a torch, and then there's 3 flaming fireballs coming at you at the other side.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that it speaks for itself just how insanely aggressive the Pryde is, especially just showing off their aggression on the defense side of things. Wichita Wolves has to be worrying about when the rounds switch and they gotta defend against that team here. Now it looks like Oni is getting ready to get these peaks that he is known for here, going around and trying to find out. But Faded is gonna be picking up the first kill here up on Snows. That is absolutely unfortunate there for Pryde, as now they lose one of their members who has been playing as an anchor role. Oni going down as well, and that's gonna bring this into a 5v3 situation. Absolutely incredible. Nice pickups by Wichita Wolves here. Looks like Devil gonna be doing some work here as he rushes through and taking out these cams as he goes, just to make sure that his team is gonna be as ready as possible to breach in here. And look at these flicks that we've seen Destroyer go. His sensitivity is just off the charts here, and he just knows how to throw that mouse and catch it at the right spot. And I think that's what's been helping him get these frags out here, and I think it's going to help him out on this one especially. Destroyer going to be going down almost a half health here, and let's see what's going to happen as he gets ready to push through. We see him popping out to try to play from the bathrooms here. Is he gonna be able to get the pick? He is, through the bathroom vent, taking out Dylan, bringing us into a 5v2 situation here. Just giving up to Samuel and Rizzer. And now Samuel and Rizzer are gonna be extremely important players here. They are very good anchors, as well as just just top performers here. And Samuel, as long as he does not miss, unfortunately, I eat my words as they come out of my mouth here. And we already see Destroyer pick up a headshot there. Just go up to Rizzer. Now, Rizzer is the headshot king himself. You see him just lock onto these heads already. And unfortunately, though, Tyrant is going to be able to get that swing up first. And Caster's Curse at its best.
Flawless round coming out there from Wichita. And just, whew, Crosshair was there. Flicks have been there. There we go. Now will we see Wichita Wolves come start winning these rounds? Because now this could once again set the tempo, winning this final round. They're going back to kitchen. We're keeping the same things. And it's a great job by Wichita Wolves, absolutely matching the tempo that Pryde have set. I mentioned fire. It was an interesting analogy, I have to admit, but I think that's exactly what happened. They have the fireballs. They've got more fireballs. It's just absolutely battle. It's not working out. This metaphor's not working out, but Wichita
I
Wolves.
could definitely use some fireball right now after hearing that.
It's a confusing metaphor. I get it. But Wichita
No, it
Wolves,
makes absolute sense. They Wichita Wolves, they are certainly learning how to fight fire with fire. We saw them pull out the win both times as soon as they started to match Pryde's aggression. And yeah, well, let's see what's going to happen now going up into this next round here. as we see Snows and Dylan setting up their equipment here. We see Oni already getting all 3 of his nanobots out, and Samuel just getting ready to lock down these sites with that Jaeger utility here in tandem with, you know, the Malusi Wub cannons.
For me personally, my eyes are really on Oni and Samuel. And I think if Oni has gone down early in the rounds, Wichita Wolves, they've just swept on through. You know, last round we saw Oni Snows go down like that. And if Oni still in the bar, like, is this just their
This
play?
is where he plays. This is where Oni was born and raised. I guess you could say that Oni is really coming out here like a devil and, you know, getting these spawn peaks out. And let's see what he's going to be able to do. Unfortunately, he is not going to be being met with anyone here, but there's a trade already. Samuel going to be getting a kill before he goes down as well here. So we're going to be seeing Anarchy pick up a kill, and yeah, that's going to be trading it out as Samuel takes out Faded. And so let's see what's going to happen going into the 4v4 here. It looks like we are going to be seeing Dylan go down as well as Anarchy picking up a double kill right into the round here. Going to be breaching through, utilizing his drones first before anything. Oni's Mozzies were really not, you know, capturing too much out here. So let's see what's going to happen as Buck and Thatcher get ready to throw in down you know, to the site here. Looks like they are biding their time a little bit here. Zafia as well going to be setting up, and Thatcher going to be looking like he's in tandem with Ash. I think they're going to be playing through the ceiling yet again, but it's too hard to tell as of yet. But we do see Oni getting ready to perform here. We see him sneaking around here like an absolute snake, but he's got to get upstairs if he wants to get those peaks to be you know, as important as they can be. So especially seeing now as Anarchy, you know, playing through the floor like he always does, you know, he's looking for that pickup on Oni or Rizzer, especially, you know, as we see the fact that they've lost the you know, they've lost both of their anchors there, because Malusi and Jaeger were both playing as the anchors. So now we're seeing Oni rotate back out closer to site here. We're seeing Rizzer play a lot closer to site than he has in the past. So, you know, Pryde is really going to be on their tippy toes here, especially as they are now at a 1-man disadvantage. Looks like they have found where A site is. 56 seconds still left on the clock here, and let's see what Devil's going to be doing as he pushes in through here. Not going to be finding anything too much, but Rizzer going to be going down a lot, but he is going to be able to take out Anarchy before he goes down to Devil. That's going to be bringing this into a 3v2 situation here. We are going to be seeing still Oni and Snows, and now let's see as things start to kick up here. 38 seconds left. Snows going to be holding down this objective with his life here, getting peeked out from the top. He is going to go down. Unfortunately, we see Devil just spamming out, but Oni going to be getting a kill on Destroyer here. Looks like Devil is going to be getting the plant off, and is Oni going to be able to capitalize on that noise that he definitely heard there? No, he is unfortunately not going to be able to, and we see Tyrant Revel back up with Mr. Devil, and so let's see what's going to happen as Oni gets ready to go through. Looks like he's going to be playing with that C4 to kind of bait them out, say, hey, look, I'm coming from this way. He is going to go for the outside peek here, and it does work out for him a little bit. He takes Tyrant down to half HP, but unfortunately Oni is going to go down to half HP himself here. Going to be trying to get the peeks through the walls. Unfortunately not going to be finding anything through the walls. Is he going to be able to get through? No, he's not. Devil going to be taking him through, and that is going to be the end.
Yeah, Wichita Wolves, I doubted them a little bit that they're finally able to come through, win those last rounds. And Oni, Oni,
They got so close.
they're so close. I would have loved to see if there's anybody I wanted right there. It was definitely Oni. I expected them to really hit that P10 Roni shot on outside, but sometimes that's just really how the cards are played. You win some, you lose.
Absolutely. We see the match go up now 3-3, and honestly, I'm just super excited to see what's going to happen. I told you it's going to be neck and neck, and especially now as we see the teams swap out, I'm excited to see what Pryde is going to be able to do on attack. They picked up 3 defense rounds here, and just, man, it is going to be extremely hot-footed.
I mean, of course, I mentioned earlier how, you know, Pryde's aggressive strategy really wasn't going to work as well on this attacking side. And now is the time to prove me wrong, time to prove everybody wrong. You know, everything can work if you really push hard enough, if you push aggressively, that you'll find your way through brute force. You will win these rounds. But going to Hookah, seeing the Malusi, there's really no Legion. There is that Valkyrie from Devil who's going to take a little bit of friendly fire going through that wall. But
Oh,
I
no.
think that is the round's over. They took a sliver of HP. Cancel it all.
You love to see it, but what is important to notice here is that you know, Pryde is going with a slightly different setup here. They're going for that IQ play as well as Nomad because they know that Wichita Wolves is able to play these roamers here. They've seen the matches. They know what Wichita Wolves is capable of, especially as they pull out that Vigil there. I think that Nomad is going to be an extremely important pick just to make sure that they can get a lot of you know, a little bit of an upper hand here, especially because even if, you know, you can't utilize your Nomad utility in a way that would help you in your active battles, it'll at least give you some information. Hey, someone just tripped and fell on their ass on the other side of the map here. And let's see what's going to happen. Snow's going to be utilizing that IQ utility here, find out where everything is. And especially as we go out into the very beginnings of this round, it is a lot slower than we're used to here. I think that Pryde is going to be playing on that knowledge that as long as they can get that preemptive knowledge before going in and before being extremely aggressive. Oh, but there we go. It is going to start out extremely fast. As soon as I say the words, every time. Going to be going already down to a 4v4 here, almost a 4v3 here. Destroyer going down to just 25% HP. Absolutely crazy. Let's see where Destroyer is going to be able to come out on top, if he is going to come out on top at all. Looks like he's going to be doing what he can to hold down A site here and just really make sure that Pryde cannot get a foothold whatsoever. And unfortunately for Pryde, they are going to be able to get right in there. Looks like Oni is going to be able to take out Destroyer, but Tyrant trades it right out. And Wichita Wolves really just locking down these objectives here. They're playing on every single piece of information they have. And I think that it is going to work out in their favor here as they get ready to just pick up, especially as they picked off Rizzer and they picked off Oni. Those are two powerful pickups going into it. And let's see what's going to happen. Snow's going to go down and fade to Uke. Going to be picking up a double kill here. But Samuel with a double kill of his own here. You're being this 1v2. Is Anarchy going to be able to clutch up? He's going to be in that fight. But no, Samuel with a 3K to clutch it up. And that's going to be the first attacking round going to Pryde.
They just walked in sight. they basically walked in sight that entire round, and they just won it out. Like, that's not supposed to happen.
We saw the initial aggression as they pushed in, and then it was a trade immediately, and we're like, okay, well, Pryde's probably not gonna do, and they kept doing it, and it worked.
Like, I'm astounded, but at the same time, I'm just so impressed that they're really able to come through. But and that's also a hindrance on Wichita Wolves, that they're just allowing them to walk on site free, get a trade that's still negatively impacting when you could have somewhat of a free kill with that communication. Just use your ears. Something like that is just, it's somewhat frustrating because we know that Wichita Wolves are this great team, and just to see Pryde walk somewhat all over them with kind of simple ranked casual quick match strats is kind of frustrating because they have the skills to definitely combat this. And part of that could come down to operator choice. You've only really got that Melusi. They're opting out of the Valkyrie this time, and still no Legion, still nothing that would impede these attackers at all. And if I'm being honest, I expect the exact same thing for Pryde. Just full on put the fist through the site, get some trades, and then allow Samuel, Oni just to run through this defensive side.
Absolutely. And I think that what the main thing that we're seeing here is just Pryde's aggression here. I guess you could say that they're pretty prideful about it, but you know, the thing is that the way that they are you know, just keeping on it and keeping the meme, it is really working out in their favor here. Looks like they're going to be droning out a little bit more, get a little bit more information before they go for this first initial push here. Snow's going to be doing some work from upside down, make sure he doesn't get counter peeked here. However, I don't think they've got much to worry about here. Wichita Wolves is not really known for their initial spawn peeking, but let's see what's going to happen. Rizzer going to be peeking out from the top and you know, still using these drones here. Now it looks like Pryde is still not confident in what their strat is going to be as they get ready to push in here, but I think that Wichita Wolves knows exactly how to lock this down. They are not letting any single angle go unwatched here. And look at Destroy going for the nice little memes here of just peeking in and out, bobbing and weaving his head, waiting, because they know that Pryde could just show up at any corner at any time. We just do not know what to expect. And especially just seeing here, you know, we're kind of waiting for those webcams to be tripped by Pryde, but I think that Pryde is just going to be going too fast for that to even matter as they get into it, especially since, you know, you've got Samuel out here as Ash just Jaegers breaking down walls. You've got Snow's here's IQ to get all the info preemptively before they get that push in. Looks like Samuel is going to be taking some damage there, fighting through that hallway. Snow's going to be dropping down to pull a little bit of eyes away from him here. Going for the peaks here, almost gets one, but unfortunately, you know, they are just waiting a little bit too hard here. Vigil getting spotted like normal here. You know, and let's see what's going to happen. We see Samuel. Oh, looks like Vigil is going to be roaming around from the bottom, and let's see if he's going to be able to find anything in particular as they get ready to push out here. Looks like he's going to be seeing the hatch drop below him there, and he's going to be popping his utility here. Very, very powerful, especially as we see that drone drop down. But unfortunately, that is still going to give them enough information to say, hey, there is a Vigil in this area. You know, we got to know at least where he is instead of exactly where he is. Looks like Pryde really taking their sweet time. I'm not used to seeing this. I don't really know what to say. You know, usually there would be at least a triple kill by now. You know, 30 seconds left on the clock. Let's see what is going to happen. Oni going to be doing what he can to lead this push out as they get a little bit antsy here. Samuel also holding this angle very well. He knows that there's going to be one, at least two in that angle. Looks like the first kill is going to go to Tyrant. Going to be traded out immediately, though. We are seeing down as it goes to a 4v3 here as Tyrant goes out. Devil going to be taking out Oni, though, so it's going to be already down to a 4v2 here as we see Rizzer go down too. And it's going to be Pryde Dylan, the last man standing, going to be able to take out Devil. He is not going to be able to take out Faded, though. Faded comes around the corner, crouched out. Dylan was not ready for that angle here. We are going to be seeing that round just go to crumbles immediately.
I mean, they took their sweet time, and I don't mean that in a positive light. Pryde, this fast, aggressive, that is their mantra. And they just didn't do that there. I think they took a lot of time trying to take out that Vigil. You know, we saw the drone, and then we saw the Buck and IQ both go on that first floor trying to hunt down the Vigil, and that just didn't work out for them. You know, Samuel was just still hiding in 90, wanting to get something. And I think one thing that a small little change that definitely impacted around barricading. I think the barricades impeded the progress of Pryde enough that it just they knew in the general vicinity where they were coming from. They had to wait, break down the barriers, and that gave them the audio cue, gave this defensive side enough information to really hold that angle. And that's something you don't see a lot of, but I think in this particular situation, it's something small that's really working out.
Absolutely. And speaking of barricades, we are going to be seeing Goyo come out here, and those deployable covers with the nice little thermal aspect to them are going to be changing things up. Especially, I don't know if Pryde is going to be ready for this, especially looking at their utility. They're staying with that same team stack that we're so used to seeing from Pryde on this attack round. And well, I'm wondering what Anarchy is going to be doing with it, because it looks like he's not going to be playing on the sites. He's going to be placing all that Goyo utility up on the second floor here to kind of counteract the same strategies that Wichita Wolves was used to pushing. And I think that that's the way that they're going to be playing this right now, is they're playing this in a way that, you know, what is the most annoying thing that we could come across if we were going to be pushing this? And, you know, I think that's a great way to play it. It's a great way to get these strats out. And really, it is, you know, up to Pryde here to be as aggressive as possible, and coming up on an anomaly like those Goyo barricades is going to be changing things out. We are seeing Rizzer already starting off here, getting a headshot on Destroyed here. Rizzer gets nothing but headshots, so that is not a surprise there. That M762 really just performing here on that staircase, especially we see that dynamic duo of Rizzer and Samuel. This, you know, they're always going to be in the same rooms together. But let's see what's going to happen. Samuel going to be getting ready to push out. He is going to be rotating around the sides here, going to be going for the more traditional angle here, going to be revealing himself by you know, breaking that barricade. Luckily not taking any damage there. He is going to be trying to get that flash out, but that Jaeger utility was already placed there. There's no way you can get around that, especially not with just one person's utility. So he's going to be ditching that idea very fast. Let's see what Pryde is going to be able to do here as they get ready to drone out, get the information there, throwing more of that utility. Is still not going to go anywhere, Samuel, but let's see, was able to pop off one grenade at least, and I think that that means that now, you know, since there is no more Jaegers, if Jaeger did not put any more trophy systems in that room, he should be able to breach some walls here for his team and you know, create a crossfire on this Melusi that is just holding this angle right now. Let's see what's gonna happen. Pryde Dylan gonna be getting ready to go in. He sees the head of one, not gonna be clicking it, unfortunately. Let's see, 1 minute and 20 seconds left on the clock here. Pryde Dylan getting ready, holding this angle here that Wichita Wolves has already completely evacuated. We are going to be looking now at Mozzie, who is not playing the same way that Pryde's Mozzie was playing. He is more anchoring in this position here. And Anarchy going to be... Oh my god! We just saw a double kill pop out of nowhere there. Rizzer doing what he can to counteract it here. And we are seeing Pryde pick up a double kill of their own here, going already down into a 3v2 situation here. But oh man, Rizzer taking out Tyrant immediately as he attempts to get that plant down. It is just going to be up to Anarchy right now. What is happening here? Pryde picking up the diffuser. Unfortunately, they are going to be going down as well. Just be up to Rizzer now. Rizzer versus Anarchy, the 1v1 here. And Rizzer is going to be having a massive health deficit here. How is this gonna work out here, especially as Anarchy's just holding this angle here, and there we go. Rizzer wasn't even expecting that to happen, and there you go. Anarchy really just locking it down here. I was not expecting a Goyo to you know, be in this position here, but there you have it. Wichita Wolves coming out on top.
I mentioned earlier how you needed to fight fire with fire, and they did that. Let's bring the fireman forward. Have him clutch the 1v2 and bring Wichita Wolves closer to that match point. And they're bringing them
love to
again. I
see it.
love to see that. And I think what's very interesting is we saw Rizzer claim a kill very, very early in the round and then just silence. Nothing happened after that. And I was a little bit surprised. I thought we were going to see a lot more of an aggressive play come out. You know, maybe we would see one more and then a refrag happen, but that just didn't fall through. Pryde, you know, just defaulted back to just waiting, taking their time, and that is not the strategy that is working out for them. What is working out for them is just punching on through, rushing, being aggressive, taking Wichita Wolves by surprise, and that's really the only way that they're coming out on top is these surprise kills, these surprise 2Ks, 3Ks, absolute fire bombs from Pryde, because otherwise Wichita Wolves, they just sit down, rely on their utility, rely on the strats that they have set up for themselves, and that is where they're coming up with these rounds. And going to double bar, strategies, you know, they might not be as good. So Pryde, this could be the round that they're going to be able to tie it up, but they need to fall back on what they know best.
Absolutely. The only rounds that we've seen Pryde lose are the ones where they are not able to aggress as they normally do. And so getting ready to see what Pryde is going to be capable of in these next few rounds, they realize that, you know, they got to keep that initial aggression that they had. You know, it's going to be interesting to see if they're going to be actually doing what they need to or not. Looks like we already see Rizzer and Dylan getting ready to do what they do best out here, and Melusi going to be playing out on this angle here to defend it, and hoping that Melusi's webcams were placed in the right sections here. Looks like Dylan, Snows, and Rizzer all getting ready to push up through the second floor here. Tyrant going to be also on the second floor over here, getting ready to hold it all out. Rizzer picking up the very first kill on Anarchy there. You know it's a headshot already before I even say it. And let's see what's going to happen. Rizzer going to be getting a second kill there on Tyrant. Unfortunately, though, Rizzer is going to be going down. We do see a lot of damage go out to Samuel, so we are going to be seeing the 3v4. However, the massive health deficit is going to be not in Pryde's favor, especially as Devil going to be getting a C4 kill onto Snows. So we see a 3v3, but Samuel one shot, and that's all it's going to take. Let's see what's going to happen now as we get ready to... Devil going to be taking out Samuel. There it is. Dylan going to be at very low health as well, and let's see what's going to happen as we go into the 2v3 situation here. Wichita Wolves really going to be, you know, performing out here as we see Pryde, Oni, and Pryde Dylan just getting ready to rack it up here. They do have to do whatever they can here. Oni get through the wall onto Destroyer, bring this into a 2v2, evening the odds here. Unfortunately, Devil going to be taking out Dylan immediately, going to be trading that right out. So he is getting a 3 kill for this match. As we go into the 2v1 situation. Is Oni going to be able to clutch this up here? Is he going to be able to do what he does best? He does have the diffuser, and that is going to help him out a lot here as we get ready to, you know, breach in here. With 1 minute left on the clock, though, Oni, you know, he's got time, but he knows he does not want to play for it. He wants to get extremely fast kills. He wants to get these super powerful, speedy plays. And I think that is what he's going to be going for here. Going to be just trying to confuse the enemy a little bit, breaking open walls that he's not intending to push at all. Unfortunately for him, though, Wichita Wolves are used to this kind of aggression by now, and they are ready for it. They know that any angle could be pushed at any time, and they're just going to be getting ready to snap out. We see their heads turning 360 degrees at all times here. Oni going to be getting hit out by that smoke there. That's so unfortunate, but let's see what's going to happen. Oni, he knows the smoke is going to be somewhere there. He's waiting for him to peek, but Oni is not going to be able to find anything as the entirety of Wichita Wolves is just waiting for that plant noise to happen. And that smoke is really doing some massive damage here. It's not looking good for Oni as he unfortunately gets double teamed out now. And I think that smoke is going to get him. No, it's not going to get him here. He breaks over the wall, but Devil is going to be able to get the kill here. And that is going to get to Wichita Wolves.
I mean, there we go. We see, having that fiery aggression at the start and then just a slow burn all the way. And then Wichita Wolves win it out. Match point. This is the last chance for Pryde to come out. And I think this map really benefits them the best. They're really just able to get frags, not rely too much on strategies. They just go in and do what they know best, and that is click heads, click bodies, whatever they need to do to secure the round. And that secured them so far, but they've leveled off. They need to drink more G Fuel. I don't know, do something Adderall, something that just increases their levels of just aggression pushing forward. Because as I mentioned, that is what have won them these rounds before. But going back to Hookah, that is going to be such a hard one to come by. Will we see some aquarium takes? Will we see some just running straight into Hookah, getting these refrags? I think that's the key. But I think only time will tell if Pryde are really going to commit. Because they've showed signs of it in the early round. We've seen Rizzer absolutely pop off, but then it's just leveled out. Samuel, Oni, they've just been a lot more quiet going into these second half rounds. It's mostly just been up to Rizzer to do what Pryde does best. So will the other members really step up and claim the title as just full fury punching team?
Absolutely. And just like you were saying before, Rizzer, he should be performing a lot better than he is, but you're entirely right. He's just coming in here, getting that one headshot before dying off. And I really do think that Wichita Wolves are... they might have a chance to bring this home here. And Pryde going to be pulling out all the stops, getting ready. They are going to be pulling out that tried and true team stack that they are known for right now, with that IQ, Buck, and Ash just synergy, especially as we see that Zafia play out by Rizzer. Hopefully Rizzer is going to be able to do a little bit more of these rounds, get a couple more headshots, but we are going to be seeing Smoke really doubling down on that anchor role, as it just helped out so much last time. The Oni definitely could have had a shot there, but Smoke really just shut down that entire play, and I've never seen so much reliance on one character actually pay off. But let's see what's going to happen here. Oni going to be getting ready to run around and really just go for it here. We see Dylan already breaching in. He is already on site basically, and let's see what's going to happen. Placing those Nomad utilities here to just prevent any sort of rotation from coming out. We are seeing nothing of use just yet, but Samuel gonna be unfortunately almost going down there. He is at a massive health deficit here. This is not looking good for him as he gets ready to push in. He's gonna need his team to rotate right around to help him out here. This is just going to be very frustrating for him as he just has to back off the site. Tyrant also going down to massive just zero health almost, and that's gonna be evening the odds a little bit here. So it's very interesting to see what's gonna happen. It looks like Pryde is going to be opting to play from the bottom floor here, using the floor to their advantage here, just to make sure that they can do a little bit of those foot shots that work out here. We are going to be seeing the first kill go to Samuel here, and that is absolutely insane that with that health deficit, he's able to pick one up. Oni going to be able to pick up Anarchy as well. That's a really huge pickup. Anarchy really was doing work in the last few rounds here, so just going to be up to Faded, Devil, and Destroyer here as they try to get this win here. But I think that Pryde does not want that to happen. When they saw that match point banner, they are just already out there ready to perform, but it is still early. It's still halfway through the match. Anything can happen. Let's see what's going to happen. Samuel's going to be doing some work here, but I think that they are going to be getting ready to push in.
Yeah, Faded, Devil, they just got to stay in sight. Destroyer all of these members have absolutely the frag power to combat this. They need to rely on their info, but they're so close to relinquishing sight.
Oh,
And there we
Devil
go.
goes down there. Oni gets a kill. Dylan starts the plant the diffuser there, but he is going to get canceled out by that smoke here. It is going to be going down into the 2v5 situation here. Destroyer and Faded are going to be doing everything in their power here. And there we go. Destroyer going to be able to pick up one, but unfortunately he is going to go down here. It is going to be the 1v4 situation. And well, let's see what's going to happen. Faded going to be picking up a double kill. It's now a 1v2 situation. Dylan going to be getting the plant out. So if Faded is going to be able to cancel out, but unfortunately he's going to be out of smokes, and he does go down as Rizzer picks up another headshot.
Great job by Pryde. You know, they worked with their back against the wall. It's match point. They're losing members left and right, but they're able to come through it in time. That was getting pretty close. If they had like one more smoke canister, that would have been map right there, because they would not have been able to rotate. But that's a beat of sweat off your back. You're able to stop Wichita Wolves. They had a 3-round momentum going through, and that's hard to stop, especially on a strong site like Hookah. Now, going over to Kitchen, we're seeing once again that Goyo being brought out. Will we see that 6th pick come through? And we're not, Anarchy, love to see the fireman literally fighting fire with fire. But I think Rizzer was early in the round was a lot more quiet. It's a lot different than what we've seen. They were quieter in the beginning of the round, but then absolutely came alive when needed in the second half of the round. Samuel showed up in the first half. It's a little bit of the changing of roles coming through, and that's able to somewhat work for Pryde. Maybe don't let your top frag die so quickly into the round, even just getting one kill. Let them really work their momentum, do what they do best, and that's claim kills and not die.
Absolutely, and looking at this setup here, we are going to be seeing Wichita Wolves pulling out that Goyo yet again here. And well, I mean, last time it worked out for them. Let's see if they're going to be able to close up this match point and really, just like you said before, fighting fire with fire. A little bit more literally than anyone anticipated, though. I just love seeing Goyo being played in these super high-level matches. And well, it looks like Pryde going to be once again the same setup that we're so used to seeing by now. And well, I'm excited to see what's going to happen here. Rizzer looking like he's going to be going for that massive aggression here. It is still match point, so they can't get too comfortable. Even though they just won the last one, they still have to win this one as well if they don't want to get completely shut out here. So let's see what's going to happen as they get ready to push into the site here. Looks like Samuel and Rizzer both getting ready to go up to different points of the of entry and just really get ready to push in together. We see their communication working real time here.
Flashbangs going through. You want to drain those ADS. That's going to allow that Zofia nades, these Ash charges, all to go through. And right there we go see Devil taking out Rizzer, the top frag, off the board. And now it's going to be so much harder for Pryde to claw through.
Absolutely, and let's see what's going to happen now as we see Devil getting ready to play off of the sound cues of those wub cannons. They see a few of the drones coming in there, and unfortunately for Pryde, they are really going to have a hard time pushing in through on Wichita Wolves. Wichita Wolves really is having a great round here as far as holding down these sites here. Destroyer almost getting peeked out there by Oni. That was, we are going to be seeing it go down here. Oni is going to be able to get the kill there. Devil taking out Dylan as well, going into a 4v3 situation. What is going to happen next here? Oni is going to be at a massive health deficit, though. He is going to be sitting at 50 HP here, which could change things up, but he is going to be going for these peaks here. Is he going to be seeing that? He saw just the kneecap of Tyrant, bringing this already down to a 3v3 situation here. And, well, I don't think Pryde is going to be going out without a fight here. Let's see how they're planning on doing this, especially after, you're exactly right, they lost Rizzer. It is going to be changing things up a lot here, but they still have Oni and Samuel, and you know as well as I do that Oni is just a beast when it comes to just pushing these sites here. Faded going to be doing what he can with smoke here just to hold out the utility. It looks like Samuel is going to be going down to Devil here, bringing this into a 3v2 situation, and well, anything can happen right now.
Yeah, Samuel, I think relying a little bit too much on that gunpowder to win that.
Going down to a 2v2 now, 2v1 here is Anarchy picking out Snows there after the trade here. Just gonna be up to Oni now. Let's see what's gonna happen. The whole round could be over here if Wichita Wolves is gonna be able to take out Oni. There they are, and defenders are gonna be able to win here. Wichita Wolves taking the first match.
Yeah, and there we go. Wichita Wolves, they took a little bit slow to start it off, but then they just started ramping up the engine. It's your old truck. You gotta twist it a couple times, but hey, it gets the job done. Gets to point A to point B, and Wichita Wolves, they got to point B. They won it, and good job from them. Even in overtime too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hello.
Great job. Hello.
Hello,
What do
everybody.
you think of that
Welcome
match?
back. Your show host is here, and that was Clubhouse. I'm Clubhouse. It was Coastline, another TDM deathmatch that we saw. It was pretty good, yeah. Wichita Wolves had it so long for so long, but then they almost started to drop the ball. It was 7-5. That was so close. You guys were all wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
But
you
like
guys
I
were
said,
wrong.
though,
I mean, SCS suck at predictions. What can I say?
like I said though, Coastline is gonna be that one where you get that initial push and it's immediate pushback. I called it. I did.
Yeah, I suppose so, but I mean, we still have another map to look after, and I think we will be going to the analyst desk in a little bit, but before we do, I want to hear your lasting impressions on Coastline. Light Rose, go first for me, bud.
I mean, I just wanted to mention Pryde. They started off so well. They just kept
They did.
going up and up and up and up, and then they just dropped. I mentioned that, and we saw Rizzer shines of light. You know, Rizzer Samuel getting these early frags, getting in the building, and then they would just die, and nobody would be there to really pick up the slack. Nobody would be there to do anything besides wait around, drone. And that is not what Pryde does best. Wichita Wolves was able to just really hold their ground on that defensive side, and that's why they won Coastline.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if that's a map-specific kind of thing, or if that's just how Pryde plays in general. This is my first time seeing them, and that wasn't the best first impression I got, but Artie, maybe map 2 will be better for Pryde.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said last week, I saw Pryde just really show off that aggression every single round. And one of the biggest things that I can say here is that this first match really showed off Wichita Wolves and how they are able to just completely improvise, adapt, and overcome. They saw everything start out here with that insane aggression, and they were able to just say, hey, what are we doing wrong? How do we counter it? And Wichita Wolves really just came out on top. And if they're going to be able to bring it back like that in the next round as well, I think that Pryde is going to have a tough time going into these next couple rounds here.
You just threw a whole bunch of words at me. Give me 1 second. My gears are still turning. But no, in all seriousness, that's absolutely correct. I think there needs to be a bit of a step-up game from Pryde right now. They need to be the Lions that they know they can be. Show off what they can do. Let's hear that roar, Katy Perry style. But we got to see what the analysts have to say, too. I'm curious to know what my boy Santos has to say. Hello, Santos. It looks like he'll be playing the role of analyst again. Hello. Were there any
Hi,
standout?
Keg.
Hi. Were there any standout rounds to you, first and foremost?
I mean, overall, we saw that map one. We saw the round one, excuse me. We saw the Tachanka spawn peak. These off plays were just working for the side of Pryde, right? But then after that defensive split of theirs, they really just kind of lost all momentum, if we're being honest here.
I mean, when you're hit up against with a Tachanka spawn peak, it can be a huge kick in the pants, but that was on Pryde's side too. Was that all the momentum they had in the beginning, just faltering?
I mean, there was a lot of momentum within, like, I think it was the first 2 rounds, just doing these off sort of plays. I saw Rizzard going off a little bit, but there was a big issue. We see Snows here on the Jaeger in our replay. You expect your Jaeger to get a couple of frags, and Snows unfortunately dropped the Owen bomb, I'm pretty sure. So, Pryde just need a little bit of contribution from everybody, if we're going to be completely honest here, because we saw a more balanced score sheet come out from Wichita. Everyone was able to get kills, whereas Pryde, it really sort of fell on Oni, Samuel, and Wizard to get these kills for them. So,
Yeah,
look for Pryde, yeah.
You know, you're absolutely correct, Toast. Having that 3v5 for what's felt like the majority of the game is not a position you ever really want to be in. So maybe that could be the big thing that they need to do going into the next map. But overall, it's just losing that momentum, and Wichita Wolves thrive off of that. They'll just rip you apart if you can't match their energy toe to toe.
There's a lot of confidence that comes out from the side of Wichita Wolves, and when you can take that away, that is when the weaknesses really start to show. So Rizzer playing that Tachanka, it's still up on our board. That was right. It's kind of something to stare at, if we're going to be completely honest here. But yeah, Rizzer staying on that Tachanka really just sort of took away what Wichita Wolves had planned, and Wichita really, thrive off of being that sort of powerhouse in the league where they expect people to be scared of them. And I think we saw from Pryde a little bit, we're not scared of you. we have Pryde in our gameplay.
Absolutely. What I did like about Pryde's defense for a while is that they wanted to experiment a little bit. They did some unique things. There were some rounds where we saw, the defenders at the very end of the round getting those vertical kills. And we saw Wichita Wolves do the same exact thing, don't get me wrong. But seeing Pryde do it, I felt like there was a little bit more cleanliness to the execution. And while Wichita Wolves were just nasty on their attack, I think each team really played to their strengths. It was just that dichotomy of seeing Pryde work with only 3 people more or less for the majority of the game and almost relying too much on their support, not really picking up the slack.
I mean, your fraggers can't do everything for you. Let's be completely honest.
Oh,
Your
yeah.
you need some play from your supports, just giving you whether it be information, whether that be some sort of area denial. When your supports aren't really on their game, that is when your weaknesses as a team are going to show. Because not only are your supports being a little bit weakened in the fragging power, but that also affects your frag game as well from your leads, such as Rizzers, such as Samuel, because really the supports drive the ability for the fraggers to go out and do what they do. They give them information and allow them to just run around the map and go and click on heads.
Exactly, but even then, when you have 2 cement blocks that tied your ankles, you're still gonna sink no matter how good of a killer you are. And that's exactly what we saw on Pryde's side. Wichita Wolves played a much more even game. Sure, they played very aggressive too, but it was even. It was good to watch for them, but they still narrowly escaped with a victory. It was 7-5, San. That wasn't a very far off game. That could have gone to overtime.
Nah, not very far off at all. And in fact, Pryde could have escaped with a couple points there, but it really just came down to just Wichita Wolves again, just having that sort of stamina, and then Pryde, not having 2 people really show up to the game. So if Pryde can really, I don't want. Oh, that sounded a lot cleaner in my head, but that made me sound like a terrible, terrible person.
No, run with it. You're an analyst.
Right, but okay, so if Pryde is able to clean up these mistakes and get Snows and Dylan involved in the game, I think that they're going to be able to take a map off of Wichita Wolves, which is, for some people crazy to hear about. But we saw the community vote too, right? Like Pryde, people are giving him a chance in this here matchup.
They should. I honestly think if they can fix the issue with those support players not getting as many kills, they could be number 1 SCS. That is my hot take of the stream. They could be number 1.
Yo, do I got any hot sauce in here? Because that is a very spicy take.
Ooh, I should have gotten some.
Right? I think Wichita Wolves still own that sort of SCS top spot. Granted, it has been closer in recent memory, but the biggest thing here is that the competition is definitely closing in on them. And if Wichita Wolves, a 7-5 score line, that's not necessarily a dominating performance. So if the competition is closing in and Wichita is, stagnating a little bit, we could see some upsets, as you've said. So I can see Pryde going number 1, but there are definitely a lot of other teams that have something to say about it.
Let's balance it out a little bit. Let's say at the very least, Pryde will be top 3. I think Redux Rising, I think even Emergence could become that number 1 spot, and In Control so far have all shown what kind of crazy teams they can be, and they've all grown so much since the last season. Santos, we're not going to see Wichita Wolves be number 1 this season, despite what we just saw here.
Or I'm with that. I'm with that.
I mean, I like Wichita. I like them.
I love what Wichita Wolves, that sort of mission statement that they have, really innovating tier 3, but I just don't see them becoming the number 1 team at the end of the day. We have many long weeks left to go, and people are starting to figure out Wichita Wolves. I think that is the theme overall throughout these first 2 weeks.
It's all the VODs.
Right? Like it's definitely just the information game. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah. Well, I mean, the information game seemed to work well for them this last map, but not so much for Pryde.
Mind repeating that again? I had something
my
in
bad.
my ear.
Oh, gotcha. I got you. Well, I mean, the information game worked really well for Wichita, but not so much for Pryde.
Right. I mean, Pryde, just the attack kind of fell short, if we're going to be completely honest here. Coastline is one of those maps where you don't really need, like, the drone game is a little, it's one of the more interesting maps to me, right? Because you can get a lot of information off of one drone just because of the I guess, small stature of the map itself. So your drone game really needs to be on point, and you also need to keep in mind the economy, because with the lack of map space that you have, you really don't have a lot of places to hide your drone. So I think Pryde, with a little bit more information, could have taken more rounds off of Wichita. And as we said, Pryde definitely has the gun skill to compete.
Yeah, and I think that's what really brings Wichita over the top for a lot of these teams is that their gun skill. Look at this screen right now. We see
Oof.
Devil already getting a kill into Rizzer like that. That is fantastic to watch. That is some high quality, like, mwah, chef's kiss action going on. But it went on both sides. We see that kill feed. It's even orange, blue, blue, orange. But
Right.
it's up to Wichita now. They have to step it up themselves. They need to make that kill feed all blue. But you know what? I think we are done with the analyst segment. We're going to be going to map number 2 very shortly, Santos, and we'll be seeing you then, okay?
Later, guys.
See you, man. All right, hello, casters. Welcome back. We have another map here, the last one tonight, and we are going to rock and roll. Get ready for map number 2, or I guess if you've been here the whole time tonight, first of all, thank you. Second of all, it'll be map number 4 overall. Now, Light Rose, I'm curious, what do you think we're going to see compared to last game that Pryde can bring out?
I think Oregon's going to be a lot harder map for them, at least from what we've seen in map number 1, that they really are relying on frag heavy. I mean, granted, you don't really see a lot of strats, but seeing their general vibe as a team, we do see those 3 players kind of come out, light the scoreboard with the guns, but not really do much else, use their utility to put them in the position. That's going to be really hard on Oregon. So it's possible they need to really play the ban phase well. They need to really adapt on the fly, have Snows, Dylan, they need to come alive, do something, because they're not really impacting the match as a whole. And it's going to be a real struggle for them if they aren't really going to adapt.
It's a dance right now, and these two are doing the tango, but with such a more structured game, with a more structured map, I should say, this is going to be up to whichever team can be more structured. Arties, we saw the structure and the lack thereof on Coastline. Who's going to come out on top?
Well, I think that if what you're saying is correct, Wichita
I would
Wolves,
hope
they
so.
definitely have that structure. And now Pryde, though, if Pryde is going to be able to keep that integrity and keep that extreme motion and just momentum that they had with, just being extremely aggressive in the first half that they did in Coastline, if they can bring that back out and keep it every single round in Oregon, I think that Pryde might actually come up on top here and bring us into a possibly just a 1-1 here. But Wichita Wolves, they do have that structure and they do have that that malleability. They're able to take, hey, this is what's happening, this is what happened these last few rounds, and turn it right back around in their head. So Wichita Wolves is going to be that's going to be my pick, I think, for today.
Yes, like a cauldron full of melting gold and other alloys. They have to form together and make something great with all that malleability. But only one team's going to win. And we did talk about in the analyst segment that maybe Pryde has a chance, if they can beat Wichita Wolves, maybe in this map and future maps, that they could be number 1 in the league. Light, I'm curious to know, do you think this is a realistic possibility?
I don't.
Oh, no?
I don't. From what we've seen in the other parts of SCS, in control, Redux, I just don't think that Pryde have it in them to really combat with the best, because they're so simply relying on the star power of their members, able to really punch out, get these 3Ks, 4Ks to win the rounds for them. And if they can't do that, they're just going to fold like a house of cards. And I think they're definitely this time, we do see Snows. They didn't have the best first map. It's possible that they can really show what they're made of in the second map, but compared to what I've seen from these other teams and what I've seen from Pryde, I don't think that they can really compete.
It's a battle of structure right now, man. It's a battle of structure. And one of these teams is going to crumble, like you said, under a house of cards. But Arties, please, for the love of God, add some spice in here. Can you please disagree?
I don't know, man, because we got Pryde out here who can just aggress, and we got Wichita who can just come out here and just be like, okay, I'm going to adapt. It is so hard to tell. And I mean, just like I said last time with Coastline, it was going to go up one way and then immediately right back down. And, someone else is going to win after getting their ass handed to them in the first half. So, I think that the same thing might happen. But, as Light Rose was saying before, the whole thing about Oregon is just there's a lot more to deal with. There's a lot more walls. There's a lot more play, elements of play here that you have with, your
Absolutely.
character choices in Oregon are way more important than they are in Coastline. And so as we get into this first match here, I'm excited to see what the operator bans are as we go into the very first round. We go into the very beginning of the Oregon matchup here.
All right, so Thatcher is just almost insta ban. Like, I don't know if they need to quarantine him or something, waste a ban. It's just he is constantly off the board, and I don't expect Oregon to really be any different. It's got just this whole plethora of reinforced walls that just absolutely need to be zapped, muted, something like that. And Thatcher off the board, it makes it way too easy for the attackers, and that's why a lot of times he just gets taken off the board. You want to make sure that these attackers have a little bit of a harder time dealing with getting these walls open. And I'm expecting for the second man we're going to see possibly a Capitao, actually.
There we go.
I was going to say Maverick, but Capitao going off the board, blue bunker. That's where I see Capitao really thriving.
This was a very fast ban here. Womai, getting rid of that Womai there. That happened immediately. I wonder what the next one is going to be here on the defense. But yeah, Capitao definitely a very, very solid pick here. You can definitely see what kind of play style they're thinking about here for what is going to happen on Oregon specifically. Let's see what our next ban is going to be. It's going to be Kaid here. And so that's going to limit you to just having Bandit to utilize those Bandit tricks and those wall cancels here. But this is honestly solid ban, and I think that both teams here are going to have still a lot to play with, though.
Yeah, I mean, it really tosses up a bunch of playstyles. The only one that could be somewhat out of the ordinary is that kind of Capitao and Womai. It means that teams could possibly play a little bit harder into bunker. They're not going to be able to be picked out, but they're also not going to have that Womai to really back them on up. And we're already seeing going straight into kitchen and dining, not going to touch kids, not going to touch.
I'm sorry. I would hope not.
All right. Okay. Oh my god.
But yeah, we are going to be seeing them go in here, and yeah, that's going to be something that I'm also surprised to see them starting off in kitchen. But let's see, as we look at these operators that they decided to go with here, we are going to be seeing a Maestro get picked up here. Maestro Malusi on that defense here, especially as we see Anarchy playing Goyo again. This is a very, very fun defense composition that we're looking at here from Wichita Wolves. And Pryde as well. We've got Zafia, we got Ash, we got Nomad, we got Ace, we got Maverick. So that Ace and Maverick here, they're going to be able to take out a whole bunch of stuff here, especially as there's no way to possibly counter that with the, with the utility that the Wichita Wolves have decided to pick up. But I'm really excited to see what they're going to be able to do with that Maestro.
Okay. Mental reset. I'm okay. Yeah. Okay, now going into these, you mentioned the offensive side. Going into these defensive operator picks, I think the Goyo is going to be really effective. The mute Goyo, you're not going to be able to really pick them out, and it's going to allow this defensive side to really make sure they keep them out. We're not seeing a smoke for the first time. Smoke is almost constantly played in this defensive side, and him not being there could be a real detriment to this attacking side. But we're already Pryde just be super aggressive in their attack, which is, like I mentioned, just the way to go.
Absolutely. Rizzer got very, very close to seeing some of the defenders' toes there, but luckily for Wichita Wolves was able to kind of avoid that there somehow. I honestly thought that Rizzer was going to get a double kill there, but it wasn't their head, so Rizzer does not want to click it. So let's see what's going to happen here. Anarchy going to be playing away from his Goyo deployable here, and honestly, I think that that the defenders here are going to have their work cut out for them, especially as you've got those Malusi webcams there. And there we go. Samuel going to be going down first here as Anarchy picks up that kill, playing in this very, very safe corridor with that utility. He can just fall right behind. And, you know, this is going to be extremely hard for Pryde to push up with. And we are already seeing Pryde not going for their extremely fast attack. And I think that's going to be to their detriment, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, they have to take their time. You know, not having something like a Thatcher. There are no frag grenades. They're from Snows, but they're really not going to waste their time trying to throw that in. They're just going to try to open up this wall as Pryde, Oni. They're just going to be able to get that refrag onto Devil. And that's going to buy them a little bit more time to open up this wall, because time's somewhat running a little bit slow as Oni is going to get swung and taken out by Destroyer.
And as Devil goes down earlier, that was actually a pretty massive pickup there, because now Maestro, no more cams here to prevent the plants here. Destroy going to be taking out Rizzer as well, bringing this into a 4v2. Now 3v2 here. Snows takes out Anarchy, but it is going to be traded right back out as Destroyer picks up a triple kill here. Tyrant going to be finishing off, taking out Dylan, and that is going to be putting the first round towards Wichita Wolves.
I mean, we're already seeing Wichita, this type of map just absolutely caters to their playstyle and does not at all to Pryde. And you can see Pryde struggling. They just do not really know what to do. They're trying their best to get into, you know, they're mavericking open these walls, getting the frags where they're able to, but this isn't really the same confident Pryde that we saw on Coastline, you know, that's able to whip around, get these amazing style kills, because Oregon just doesn't support that type of play. And it's going to be really hard, because I mentioned they needed to adapt, and it's going to need to happen sooner than later, because the rounds are going to drain by and you're going to have 0 on the board.
Absolutely. I really do like seeing the different kind of compositions that Wichita comes up with for these, and looks like they've changed things up a little bit. There's that smoke coming back out, and but what is Pryde going to be doing to counteract, you know, the fact that they were not able to get that kind of momentum? They're not going to be changing up too much, which is surprising. But what I am excited to see is if Oni can kind of figure out his footwork here and get ready to kind of frag out the way we saw him do it in the first map.
Yeah, Rizzer, Samuel, Oni, they are the people that we look for on Pryde to just absolutely go insane, go nuts, whatever they need to. And Snows has already got a kill on the board. I believe that's one more than they had last round, because they dropped a fat 0, but they're already putting in the work. You know, they've got that Maverick, which is such an integral operator on Oregon, and they're already starting to put up that kill counter, which is great. We love to see the other members start to come alive, because that really could be why Pryde started to lose that first map. But already seeing them enter into the building and Rizzer being aggressive the only way that Rizzer knows how.
Absolutely. We are seeing him push up through here and just get ready to go in with Oni, as looks like Oni's going to be droning out here, making sure that Rizzer is not going to be alone. And here we are going to be seeing this dynamic duo getting ready to push in from the top. Going in from the first floor here, while the rest of the team looks like nobody's actually going to be focusing on that. You know, we got Samuel focusing out on that regular outdoor push here, but you know, I think the Wichita Wolves is going to be waiting for basically everything here. They know that Pryde can just come out any angle, and I think that Wichita Wolves is just going to be playing this site specifically as defensive as possible, and you know, it's going to be giving Pryde kind of the run for their money in order to just prevent any sort of offense and just extreme pushing that usually comes from their side here. Now we are going to be seeing Devil seeing where a few of these utilities are being thrown out them, a lot of drones, a lot of flashes. Luckily they got that Jaeger trophy system there to help prevent any sort of thing here. But what just happened there? Samuel goes down and Dylan goes down. We are seeing Rizzer go to half health, and that was just insane, that push cancel. Rizzer going to be trying to cancel it back up, but let's see what is going to happen.
Pryde now, they're just trying to really get what they can. Rizzer and Snows coming to really support on the white stairs, but as Anarchy finds Oni, they still have the diffuser to go get. Rizzer on low health, still just pre-firing away at the pillar. Really, they're not really going to find anything, and now they just have to do with what they have. That frag grenade going to be thrown out. It's going to detonate that shield, but is that really going to do much as Rizzer is
going to be able to pick up one of those kills here, bring this into a 2v4, but yeah, just like you were saying, there's almost nothing there.
And now Tyrant backing off a little bit. They know that somebody is really around this corner. And there we go. Destroy taken out Snows, and it's just Rizzer. 30 seconds left, and they've got a whole member to go against. Wichita Wolves winning the second round and still looking as strong as ever.
Absolutely incredible double kill there by Destroyer. Love to see it.
Yeah, I want to mention that Pryde's style of attack is with somewhat how they're aggressive they are. It really punishes sloppy roam games. You know, roamers that possibly aren't able to know all the angles, aren't able to use their movement, their gadget correctly. And if you don't have any roamers, that means that Pryde's not able to take you out. And that is exactly seeming to be working as Wichita Wolves. Most of these members are staying inside of the site. You know, they're using their gadget, the Goyo shields, the smoke canisters, everything like that. And it's just working to a T. It's making sure that whatever Pryde is doing that's advantageous to them is just not working at all. They have to really adapt, and they can't do that right now. 30 seconds gone by, and we're still seeing the kind of same operator lineup, you know, these denial, information gathering, information draining, and Pryde, they're not using their soft destruction exactly to the best. We're seeing the frag grenades from Snows being thrown out, possibly dealing with a lot of the utility, but, you know, Rizzer, Samuel, these impact grenades, Ash charges just don't seem to be super impactful. But as we do see Anarchy on the Maestro, Malusi with those Banshees, Goys with the shields, it means that the soft destruction is going to have to be a lot more important in these rounds, especially on Attic, where that is just going to be super prevalent. It's going to be an absolute nightmare as you're going to want to attack. You're going to have a Sonic Banshee to your right, just creating these blasts, disrupting your sound, slowing you down, and then you've got a Maestro Cam pinging you, shooting you, and just a Goyo shield in front of you that's burning, and it's going to absolute chaos if you aren't able to take care of it correctly. And Pryde, they need to do that because they've got the utility to deal with it.
Absolutely correct there, and Pryde really just going to be trying to do whatever they can now, especially as they're just pushing in through tower here, which is definitely going to be the play. And unfortunately for Wichita Wolves, they are going to be able to get in here fully, and with that Maverick here, they're going to be able to actually kind of play out from tower. And depending on where that Goyo utility was set up, you know, things might actually go in favor of Pryde here, changing things up. And let's see what's going to happen. Dylan going to be getting ready to push in here from the other side here, as well as Samuel going to be doing some work on the side of Dormitory here. And let's see as he gets ready to drone out through, try to find anything. They are going to be pinging. Good teamwork here, good sight lines from both teams there. That Goyo is going to be going off a little bit early here. Not actually going to be doing anything, as I don't think Pryde was intending on pushing out just then anyway. But let's see what's going to happen. Snow's going to be opening up this area a little bit more here. Samuel going to be just drawing a lot of attention with that drone. It's actually kind of hilarious. And let's see what's going to happen. Rizzer going to be finally getting ready to push out through here, but Tyrant going to be holding this angle on tower as hard as he can there. There's one more of his Go utilities here. Dylan is actually going to be going down here. And well, there's a lot of work that is just happening here from Pryde as they get ready to initiate this push.
I think a lot of that strategy really relied on Dylan really having that pinch, and now you don't have that pressure coming from the south side. And now Tyrant has that deployable shield in front of them, and they're just going to be able to collect heads. Even though Snow's going to be able to get that refrag, they're just going to go down immediately. And now it's just Oni and Dylan left. Dylan somehow didn't go down, and I just ate my words like they're going to go down for sure. Oni on only about 30 HP, not greatest gun with the greatest magazine to deal with a whole bunch of enemies in their hand. And this round, once again, is going to Wichita Wolves, and it's not even close. It's about 4 or 3 people alive. And, you know, they've got the smoke canisters. They've still got the Maestro cams. You might want to take a little bit of a tactical timeout here. You just pause, make sure that Pryde absolutely recuperates, because Wichita Wolves, once again, these sites are going to refresh. They're going to have every single site available to them. They're going to have basement, they're going to have dorms, and Pryde, none of those sites were really close. It's just a changing of the strats that needs to happen, because right now Wichita Wolves is just looking at a 7-0 really.
There we go. That is absolutely insane there. They were able to push him completely off the site there. And yeah, we just saw right as that tower push was going through, it just completely crumbled as Wichita Wolves was able to just, they only lost the Goyo that was up there at the very front end of that defense line. And well, the entirety of Wichita Wolves just packed in and they were able to just come out on top. Absolutely incredible plays.
Yeah, going back down to Kitchen, same operator lineup, same everything. And we mentioned before how the operator selection was super integral. And it seems that Pryde aren't really using this operator selection to the best of their ability. And that defense operator selection are just absolutely blowing them out of the water. Could we possibly see some change in strategy, some, out of the blue, out of the box style plays? Because Pryde, they're not able to adapt with the strategies that need to happen. So something unconventional possibly needs to go in their direction, because that is what they do best. When they catch people off guard, they're able to start winning rounds. And as Wichita Wolves, they just go to the former, they go to the default strategies. They're just that much better at it.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. And just watching this happen, seeing this utility getting set up here, I think that Wichita Wolves is really going to just double down on that whole bake yourselves into the site, make it as annoying as possible for the extremely aggressive Pryde to just push in there and just make it almost impossible for any of those footholds to go in. And we've seen Pryde, they pick up 1 kill, but Wichita Wolves just doubles back in and just hangs into the site there and makes it impossible. We see Samuel getting ready to go out here extremely aggressively, but once again, Pryde just they don't have that same aggression that they had at the very beginning of Coastline. And if they did, that we might be seeing things different here. But especially as we see Wichita Wolves pulled out the Clash here, that is going to be slowing down things a lot and just making it as annoying as possible for Pryde to even get a single step in the right direction.
Yeah, now that they know Rizzer is in the building, callouts being deployed to everybody in Wichita Wolves, and now they're just going to react to their strategies accordingly. They're going to push on forward as Snows is going to start having to open up that wall. Somebody in bathroom, though, wanting to really distract everybody coming on through. They want to make sure that Pryde does not get into sight and really have control, because that is when they're able to really seek Rampage. But a first frag coming out from Pryde can really absolutely destroy any momentum that Wichita Wolves have, because Pryde haven't gotten the first pick at all in this game. It's just all been Wichita Wolves throwing it out, but Devil gonna be dealing some damage a little bit, just firing away with the Alda, and now Pryde, things are seeming to come together. They just need to put the puzzle pieces all together. Minute 30, things are a go.
Absolutely. We are seeing Samuel getting ready to just utilize all this utility here, canceling out everything that the Jaeger was setting up before. And we see Goyo and Goyo baking back into the site. We see Clash getting in to move away and just make it harder. Destroyer is going to be able to take out Samuel, though. And looks like we are going into a 5v3 here as Anarchy takes out Oni. Those are 2 massive pickups here. And Goyo is really just going to be doing everything he can to just bake into the site here. And we are seeing Maestro go down. Unfortunately, that is going to be very, very bad for Wichita Wolves. They don't have any more cams to play on here, but Clash is also just doing some work, just baking into the site, making it extremely difficult for Pryde to get in any further than they already have. Watching now as Rizzer just gets ready to just push through, but unfortunately, for Pryde, Dylan and Snows, they are going to really just have a hard time getting through all of this utility here. And looks like Snows gonna be trying to go back around. He can't go out through the side because Goyo is just camping there. They can't go into the site because Smoke is canceling those pushes. They can't go in directly because Clash is there. It is going to be extremely difficult for Pryde to get any sort of room. Now, watching as, Faded just plays out with the smokes here. Anarchy is going to be going down, and Rizzer gets a kill there. Faded is going to be able to take him out, though, and Tyrant with the Clash takes out Snow. We are seeing Dylan now very, very low HP. It's going to be the 1v3, and he is going to go down there. It's going to go to Wichita Wolves 4 in a row.
And now they put themselves in that unfortunate advantage. Down a man, they just don't have the utility. And now Destroyer, I don't think we've mentioned Destroyer a lot, because they are going off right now. I believe they have at least 9-10 kills in these 4 rounds. They've just been this silent killer, the silent stabber that have just put thorns into the side of Pryde. We do see that 10-0 that is the storyline right now. The top fragger has not died at all, and 10 kills is just that's a monstrous amount, and it's just showing the destruction, the destroyer destruction that Wichita Wolves is really putting onto Pryde. And another thing I want to mention is Samuel. Believe has been the opening death 3 out of the 4 rounds. Last map when we saw Samuel, they were on par with Destroyer. I mean, they were just going off, especially on that defensive side. Now they're not on defense, but it's still 0-4 for something that you expect. That you had such a good game. You know, you're warmed up. You've got that hype. Yeah, you lost, so the momentum may have been killed, but still, you had a great match, and then just nothing. You're 0-4. Your team is struggling, and nobody's really able to put up the slack. And Pryde, it's a struggle right now for them because we've seen that they're able to do something like we saw on Coastline, but Oregon is just, it's rough.
Absolutely. And just wondering now, you know, what Pryde is going to be able to do, because they tried to be aggressive, and each time they just got completely shut down here by Wichita. And you know, I think that they really have to find that synergy that they had in the first half of the first match. But you are entirely right. It's looking like the old Pryde is gone, and you know, they are going to have to really just pick up here in order to, you know, just try to get that initial aggression back. And there it is. We see it. Pryde Oni jumping right through, immediately taking out Double with that flick that was just too nasty for its own good. Rizzer already in the site, or already inside of the map here waiting. And let's just watch what's going to happen here. Dylan going to be doing what he can as well to just put some pressure out here on the basement, while both Rizzer and Oni just get ready to push in from the top. And Samuel is really going to be doing some work here, getting ready to just push out here, pushing unfortunately the wrong side. We see those pings go out. They're just not in the right place here. They don't know why those calls were being made when there's no defenders being held there. But it is going to be down to the 5v4 situation here. Pryde might actually have a round here. They have the upper hand going into it. We see these gunfights happening here between Ash and I couldn't actually tell who was holding that angle there, but let's see what's going to happen with Oni pushing in from the top here in tandem with this team here. We see the communication working, and I'm just super curious to see what's going to happen as they get ready to push down.
Yeah, now Oni having control of that meeting hall hatch that'll allow a rotate is going to absolutely struggle, but rotating over to that white stairs and now blue bunker, you need to push in on through these smoke canisters are almost starting to get drained. Faded still has all through. They still have yet to go through as Rizzer's taken down by Tyrant. And it's now 4v4. And if Wichita Wolves, they're able to create another person, the only round that Pryde might possibly get on this attacking site just might be absolutely squandered. But Tyrant going down is not going to happen. That means that it's a 3v3, still an advantage of Wichita Wolves, who have time on their side, and still Destroyer 11-0. They are just, oh, it's beautiful to watch.
Destroyer does not let anything get in his way. That is absolutely insane here. That just watching those trades go off, man.
I mean, if they're able to stay alive, Pryde know that they really have nowhere to go. And it's 45 seconds left. They still have yet to really execute on the site, really push on forward, reducing the drop from the hatch. That means that now we're starting to see this push come through. Will it execute, or will Pryde go down 5-0?
Absolutely. Watching as Snows gets ready to push in here. He does have a nice positional advantage here. Dylan as well in the back here with Oni. Looks like they are going to be Dylan's getting ready to push out his spicy bread here onto the site, getting ready to break on in, and let's see if they are going to be able to push in. Oni getting that nice shot in right through there, taking out Anarchy, and it is going to be down to the 2v3 situation here. Now 2v1 here. Destroyer, they'll pick up a double kill quad to finish the round.
Oh my God.
What just happened?
Wow. That was Pryde's round. Like, that should have been Pryde's round, but now Destroyer still 0 deaths. 0 deaths coming through, and it is disgusting to see Destroyer.
Just, you're entirely right. That was totally Pryde's round. I was like, cool, they got the plant out. They got the one-man advantage. They're ready to swing in. And then just Destroyer just comes in and just, did you see what I saw? He just clicked. He just clicked and there was only heads.
That is when the kids tell you, just click heads. That's exactly what Destroyer's doing. Just put reticle on head, press mouse, win game. 14-0. What? It's insane. You call in the. I haven't played Call of Duty, but I think that's what they're talking about in chat.
It's called
AC-130.
AC-130.
Yeah.
God, I absolutely love this, and just especially just seeing, you know, how Wichita Wolves is, and I was saying this in the first match, you know, seeing how reactive Wichita Wolves is. They are able to just adapt no matter what happens. They come right back in, and then they're able to just capitalize on, hey, this is the situation. This is the best way that we can do it, and it's really interesting to see as you're watching them ping out where the attack is coming from. You're watching them ping out like, hey, you know, this is going to be what we're dealing with, and you just see that teamwork in real time.
Wichita Wolves, they're showing that they are the teamwork-centric team, and they can still have people absolutely show up. You know, I mean, still, we talked about Destroyer a lot, but Tyrant, you know, they're just being somebody who's they're able to stay behind the shields and get kills when they need to. They're not just being an absolute slaughter, but they are just showing up where they need to, and that can show how good a team is even though your players, they aren't just absolutely going 14-0, they're still holding their ground, and that's really all you want in a teammate, is somebody who can hold their own, give calls, be a good teammate in general. And Wichita Wolves, they have exactly that, and it's safe to say that Pryde doesn't have that same teamwork and synergy that Wichita Wolves have.
For sure. And I mean, that's surprising to me, honestly, especially after seeing Pryde last week and seeing what they were able to do. It is really surprising to see that, but you're entirely right. Wichita Wolves, you know, they're just built different here, and they're just able to just capitalize on all the stuff that's happening here in this really ever-changing situation, and really just perform. And watching here now as Samuel and Rizzer get ready, this dynamic duo, unfortunately not being able to do what they were on the last map, but you know, they're going to be trying. They're going to be trying to get in here. But Wichita Wolves, they're already just baked in to the site there. Snows is going to be getting the first kill on Destroyer here. That could change things.
14-1 now. There's a death on the board, and sadly the streak is over. And that Snow's picking up the kill. Great job. They are doing their work, showing up in the kill feed, showing up with that utility. And now Pryde, they once again have that man advantage, but they just need to hold on to their place. Time slowly ticking away, but it's still definitely enough to put some more kills onto the board and execute on the site.
Absolutely. We see Snows picking up the double kill there as he finishes off Anarchy. And let's see what is going to happen as, well, Wichita Wolves, they are going to be sweating right now. They are absolutely ready for anything. And Pryde, I think they're going to be getting up and building their courage back up here to get ready to just amplify this push to the next level as they get ready to push in onto the site here. Now, Malusi going to be doing what he can to play for the top, but he is going to be able to actually get a kill there on Oni. Now, that is a big pickup there. So we see the trades go back and forth here, especially as Tyrant picks up Samuel, bring this into a 3v3, and let's see where Dylan is going to stand here. As he gets ready, he's gonna be able to get the kick onto Rizzer. Absolutely insane, but he gets traded out himself. The diffuser was planted. Snow's able to get a kill, bring this into a 2v1 here. Dylan is gonna be down, unfortunately. I think Wichita Wolves, it didn't look good for them at first, but they got the down. It's gonna be all up to them. They actually got the win here. That was insane.
I mean, that was just a flick. Out Malusi, whoo, showing up, and Wichita Wolves 6-0.
What just happened? Like, honestly, that round should have been the round that Pryde came back. And did this just happen a few rounds ago too? Were we just saying this is Pryde's round, and the Wichita Wolves just like, actually no. This is just so much fun to watch, and it's just so unfortunate as we already go into match point here. Do you think Pryde is even going to be able to get an inch?
No. Straight up, no. No.
Straight up.
I think they'll have the basic defensive strategies, but then I just think Wichita Wolves are going to absolutely blow by them, and they're just going to be able to utilize their utility in ways that Pryde wasn't able to, and that's why they weren't able to pick up an attacking round at all. I think we'll see the utility being played more. Frag grenades. We're getting 2 frag grenades, operators with frag grenades in this time, instead of just something like the Maverick. There's going to be no Nomad, so roam gain is going to be a little bit better for Pryde. So that might definitely be something that benefits them. You know, Oni, Rizzer, now is the time to shine. Make sure that your team doesn't go scoreless after such a close Coastline game. But Wichita Wolves, they're just looking so strong, and their attacking side doesn't seem to really be any different.
Exactly. And well, I'm very excited to see Pryde picking up this clash here. Now, it never fails that someone ends up pulling out a clash on Oregon. And, you know, it worked out really well for Wichita last time. And I think that Pryde, you know, they're kind of, instead of playing their own strats, I think they're going to be coming out and saying, hey, this is what has been happening to us the entire time. Let's just turn it right on their heads and be the most annoying team that we can right now and make sure that Wichita Wolves is not going to be able to push in. And especially seeing the, like you were saying before, we got that Maverick, we got that Sledge, that Ace, you know, there's going to be no room for walls. That Clash pick is very important, but yeah, no Nomad really does make things, you know, kind of shift over to Pryde's favor here as they get ready to kind of hold this site here.
Yes,
Let's see what's gonna happen.
Oh, sorry, I just wanted to mention that, you know, we're seeing Samuel and Rizzer, they're somewhat going on that flank, but the doors are really shut off, so there's really no way for them to quickly get on and get off site. So most of them are just staying in sight, and once again, I think that's a mistake because Surprise is their best angle, and there we go, Destroyer taking Samuel off the board, and now that's going to allow more control of around site, and soon the walls are just going to close on in, and it's going to be a wrap.
Absolutely. And I mean, Destroyer, you know, he is going to be down to pretty low health, but I don't think that's going to phase him a lot. Oh, he is going to actually go down here. Snow's going to be coming out on top from nowhere, going to be able to take him out here. And now let's see what's going to happen is, you know, they're looking like they're getting ready to fully push in here, fully commit to the rush. And I think it's really going to be up to Oni and Rizzer. But if they are not able to get these headshots, then it really could go down and just be over, complete shutout towards, you know, Wichita Wolves here. And now let's see what's going to happen. Tyrant going to be doing what he can here to hold the staircase. We're going to be seeing a very, very interesting fight go on. And let's see. It looks like Wichita Wolves is getting ready to, you know, push in this site. What do you think is going to happen as they rush down the staircase here?
I think if Tyrant's really able to claim the kill on Rizzer, it could be wrapped, but they're not going to see it from the crosshair. And Rizzer keeping Pryde alive with the man count. Faded and Anarchy Devil, they've got a little bit more to go. They have rounds to give, but they want to end it all right here. 58 seconds left, and they're starting to push onto this site.
Absolutely, we see Devil. Unfortunately, he's going to be going down here, and now that's the diffuser. It is going to get picked right back up by Anarchy, but he's going to be able to pick up a kill on Oni. Snow's going to be finishing off is just going to be up to Anarchy now, but Anarchy is going to be going down here. Snow's pushes into Dylan with the shield, but that's it. And looks like Pryde is actually going to be able to pick up a round here.
I actually thought Anarchy was gonna get the quick 2K headshot there. I was about to get so excited, but Pryde, that's okay. You proved me wrong a little bit. You did take that one round. You've got 5 more to go. So this is the first step into really overcoming a massive mountain, because you've got to take dorms and then you've got to take dining, which all favors the attackers more and more as you go on. And that round, that was definitely more Pryde favored. You know, they did have about 2 people alive in that end, but a couple kills. You know, if we saw Tyrant take out Rizzer, I think that once again it would have snowballed. Wichita Wolves would have taken it, because now that white stairs would have been for the Wolves side, and just Pryde, one slip up, and it's
all over. Exactly. And especially just you know, watching now as they switch it up a little bit here. One thing I noticed is that Rizzer is actually going to be taking the role of Mozzie rather than Oni, and now that's surprising, especially considering how much work that Oni did as Mozzie, you know, on Coastline. But you know, I keep pulling it back, that Coastline match, because I mean, you know, that's all we have to go on for Pryde performing here. But you know, a lot of stuff that that they're pulling out here with the Mozzie, the Maestro. I don't know how well it's going to work for them, because like you said, all it takes is one slip up and the Wichita Wolves take the entire match. They don't have anything left to give.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like they're running on empty, but they just got to tread on fumes all the way to the end. Devil taking a little bit of damage from that spawn peak. I think that Pryde, once again, that surprise, that's benefiting you a little bit more, and you could have gotten such a big advantage in the round, but you'll take 50 damage. That's something that'll help you about maybe 1 or 2 bullets in a gunfight. That could win you something. It's something. You didn't lose anything, you know.
Exactly. And especially since they still got to deal with the Alda there. Alda does go burr, and you know, those 2 bullets could really just be in the blink of an eye here. Especially as Tyrant also going out with a health deficit here, as you know, Rizzer going to be rotating back around. He hears that the entire fight is going to be coming out from the opposite side that he was playing on, and look at that extremely fast rotation. But let's see if he's going to be able to actually get these headshots here that Rizzer is known for. And you know, it is all going to come down to this, because you know, that initial damage is gonna really put the favor towards Pryde, but still anything can happen here.
Yeah, I mean, one round they need to get the opening pick, because the only round that they won, the rounds that they've been close on, they have got the opening pick on. So that can really tell the story of, are we going to see Pryde start to come back, or are Wichita Wolves just going to burrow on through and claim this one? Easy GG, go next. So the opening pick is really all I'm looking for right now, is just seeing who's going to get this early advantage. And no one really wants to be aggressive. No one wants to risk it. And it makes for such a tense moment right now.
Absolutely, especially since Pryde, you know, they kind of rely on that. They rely on that early pick. They rely on that initial aggression, especially on that defense. You know, that's exactly why they came out, you know, guns blazing in the first half of Coastline. But, you know, they're not able to get that same level of performance. But here they are, baked into the site here, doing damage to 3 members of Wichita Wolves. And this is not their playstyle, but they're actually making it work out. And, you know, it's very, very interesting to see what's going to happen, though. 53 seconds left on the clock. Let's see where the teams are planning on playing from. Samuel making these tiny bullet holes to play through, and well, I'm just very curious to see who is going to be the first person to go down, more so than who's going to get the first pick.
Yeah, right there, Tyrant is going to go down, in Pryde claiming the opening pick, but immediately getting refrag. Ooh, it's a close match, 37 seconds left, and it's got to execute on site as Snow takes on Destroy and a refrag onto Rizzer.
Absolutely, we are going to be already down to the 3v3 situation here, and we are seeing Anarchy take out Samuel. This is not looking good here. Anarchy picking up the double kill there. Devil is still going to be very much one shot, though, and Dylan, he's got the Alda that does go burr. Is he going to be able to make it work? He is going to be able to take out Anarchy, at least put him on the ground here a little bit. Pryde Dylan is going to be taking a little bit of damage as he goes through, but Devil going to be getting the plant down. Looks like Faded is going to be able to take out Snows. Is this where it all ends? It is, as Pryde Dylan goes down here. The Wichita Wolves pick it up here. Pryde making sure to not get completely shut out. They got one round, but what an insane performance by Wichita Wolves.
I mean, you can say you didn't get shut out, but anyone who really watched this, that was a shutout. Like, through and through. That was a clean stomp by Wichita Wolves, and I think it just showed that right now, Pryde really know how to frag, and maybe not much else.
Hey, at least they got around.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they got around. I mean, it wasn't quite the blowout I think anyone was really expecting. Well, maybe it was, but I thought Pryde could bring it back, and they didn't bring it back. But overall, it was a fun match to watch. It was really cool to see them duke it out on a much more structured map. But Light Rose, my guy, what happened at the very end? Where was Pryde?
They just didn't show up. I mentioned how they played the basic strategies, but other than that, just nothing really happened. You know, we saw Wichita Wolves, they were playing the angles great. They played their utility great because they know how to use that strategy much, much better than Pryde do. And they were able to create angles that no one else really was, that Pryde wasn't. And it's just, that was a crushing game. It was not even close.
Hello, Faded. Hello, our interviewee. How are you doing today?
Pretty good after that.
Yeah, I can imagine. So let's talk about Destroyers, or I suppose Milk. He had the game of his life. What was that, 15-3?
Yeah, it was something like that. He was going crazy on the defensive half, especially.
So what's going on through the comms when he gets these crazy amount of kills? That's my big question. Is he screaming, or is he like pensive and quiet like a stone?
He's pretty quiet. He sometimes he doesn't even like call out who he kills. We kind of just let him rock, get as many kills as he can.
Oh man, he's a player you need to hold on to, because if he gets poached in the Challenger League or something, you know, Wichita Wolves, they might suffer a little bit more. But talk about that dynamic some. You know, he gets these crazy amount of kills. Well, how does the rest of the team feel about that?
Usually we're just trying to hold down our area of the map. I'm usually cycling cams, trying to feed him as much info as I can, and we're trying to give him cues on like what they're taking, so he knows what's open and what he can do to impact the round.
Fair enough. I mean, it works out pretty well. It worked out a little bit less, I would say, on Coastline, but you guys brought the money, especially him on Oregon, and I can only imagine what it's like for other maps with this dynamic. But tell us about Wichita Wolves going forwards, because I don't know what the stats look like. I think you might be number one now.
Yeah, I'm not sure honestly. I haven't looked at the standings. But
I'm
yeah,
not
we're
sure
definitely gonna
either.
try to keep getting better each week and just improve on our mistakes that we make. Just keep improving.
It sounds good to me. That was pretty much all I had. Now let's open the floor to the casters. What do you guys have to say?
I just want to say I loved seeing your, the team communication. We were able to see it without even hearing it. We could hear everything that was happening. We saw the reactivity of Wichita Wolves, and that was all that we were able to talk about with, Light Rose and I. We kept talking about how, Pryde, they had this aggression, but Wichita Wolves, you guys were just so incredibly reactive, and anything that happened, you guys just kind of came back and said, all right, let's adapt to it. And what do you have to say? Like, do you agree with that? Is that how you would describe yourselves?
Yeah, definitely. We try to be as adaptive as possible. It's I think it's one of our strengths for sure. But yeah, especially on Coastline, a lot of the looks they're throwing out on defense with the spawn peaks and the runouts, we just have to adapt to what they're doing and use that to our advantage. Like if they're having a bunch of people roam offside or run out, just keep our gun up like for the first couple seconds of the round for the spawn peaks and stuff, and just play the man advantage.
Well, you guys are certainly playing into the crowd. I see the Twitch chat right now lighting up like Christmas lights, all with wolves in the titles and all in the chat. But Light Rose, what's your question from you, bud?
I just got. Did you expect that second round? Were you prepared at all for what Pride bring out? What they're best at?
Are you talking about like the spawn peaks and stuff?
Yeah, just the kind of stuff like that, and the overall fragging power. Because Oregon, you just seem to absolutely demolish them on.
Yeah, we watched over their VOD that the game they played last week, and we were pretty ready for their stuff on Oregon for sure. Coastline, I'm not sure if they had a VOD on Coastline or anything of us, maybe us play or something, but we were not ready, especially the first couple rounds, for what they were doing on Coastline. And as you saw, it caught us off guard for sure, but we adapted and brought it back to a solid split.
Fair enough. I mean, I think that's pretty much all the questions we have for you, bud. You need to get some sleep. That was a fantastic second map. Coming up from you and the rest of the Wichita Wolves, we got to head it over to the analyst desk. Toast and I got to break this down and dissect what you guys just did for, what, 8 rounds?
Yeah, it was 8 rounds.
Yeah, I'm sure you know it's 8 rounds of all people. But here
Yeah.
we go. Let's say hi to Santos. Hello, Santos. How are you today?
Man, I'm good, ready to wrap up tonight, but we got a map to talk about. This was definitely an interesting one. Dominant one, but definitely interesting all the same.
I mean, it's like one really good. It's like a superhero movie, right? There's a lot of substance to it, but it's also like it was really fast and it was good, but it was also fast and a little one-sided. So I want to hear your initial breakdown on this map. What was that standout round?
There wasn't really a standout round. I think it was just overall just the strength of Wichita Wolves and just not really giving Pride any sort of a chance. I think that these newer maps really require a lot more teamwork when compared to some of the older maps in the map pool. I'm thinking Consulate. The new Oregon you really thrive as a team that's able to adapt and really able to play as each other. But I also just think that there was a lot of just dependency on gun skill from the side of Pride, and that really was this was sort of their hubris here.
Fair enough. The hubris, I think, is a great word to use here, but I want to take the opposite of hubris. I don't know what that word is, but let's focus on that one round Pride did win. It was an absolute collapse at the very end there. We had the Clash, we had Ella, we had Jaeger, we had the whole shebang. And now in production, we were in the same call. We were listening to what everyone was saying. They were like, oh, yeah, the game's going to end here, Wichita 7-0. But we saw all those different crazy operators on the board, Toast. And we knew that Clash still alive at the final seconds. That's how you know that it was going to be the one round that Pride wins.
Yeah, absolutely. Just leaving the Pride that long, or excuse me, leaving the Clash that long. Into the end of the round is definitely just a game changer. When you are able to just slow down the enemy attack and really slow down that sort of execute, that is when Clash is at her best. And when you have a gun behind Clash, kind of like playing a Monty on the offensive side, I think that Clash really shows her true strength. Yeah, granted, she has the SPS, which has that reflex scope, but you know, she can't really frag on her own. She can only really protect her back when she's guns up. So
She did get a shield kill that round, though.
that she did. That she did. And that
But was it impactful? No.
I mean, the person was already down, so you know, I think it was just up to the slowdown effect that Clash has. But yeah, I mean, I do have a mask here.
Oh?
We all know what movie this is from. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. But I never freeze unless I'm in front of Clash.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, we did see Clash in some other rounds, but it was just not the same amount of dismantlement that we saw Pryde bring out. That was a really impressive round, and why couldn't they have done that for all the others?
I mean, the way that Pryde is gonna go back, the way that Pryde is gonna go and look at this matchup here is really just look at the amount of strategy that they have to look at. They don't really need any more aim labs or T Hunt. Let's be honest here. They are nuts mechanical players, but what they are lacking in right now is just a sense of strategy and a sense of team play as well. But we saw a lot of disjointed rounds there, and Wichita Wolves is going to eat you alive when you are disjointed as they were today.
Yeah, I think you bring up a really good point. We saw a lot of individual plays coming out from each of the members of Pryde, but none of them really played as a cohesive group. And sure, you know, we did see them play the attack in the beginning, but with them being so unprepared almost, you could say, not coordinated, that's why they did not win yet a single round on the attack.
I mean, they didn't win a single round on the attack, and the attack takes so much coordination, especially during the execute period, but also just during the beginning of the round. That drone period is so crucial. If you can pick off one or two of those roamers, I think this would have been a lot closer of a game. And as we've been saying, they have the mechanical skill to do so.
They
That is
do.
yeah, right. Like that is no question. But when you don't have the information to play off, you blind peeking in Siege is one of the most dangerous things that you can do, and I think that really showed its ugly head.
And you know what's funny? We were talking about on Coastline how they had too much information and not enough kills, but now they had the mechanical skill, but they weren't able to use it because they didn't have the information.
So lack of practice? Question mark. Maybe maybe having to and maybe modify that strat book a little bit. But
Well, I
you
think
know,
I think Faded did bring up a great point though, is that maybe Pryde did do some VOD reviewing on Wichita Wolves Coastline, and that's why they did such a good job, but Oregon was such an unknown force to them.
right. So that also comes back down to the ban phase as well, or our map ban phase, excuse me. If you're not confident in your Oregon, why let it through? We saw that in our earlier game today as well with the consulate ban getting through, and we know how that one turned out.
Yeah, and you know what? Hopefully this is not the beginning of the end for Pryde. I have a great feeling they can bring it back, but I think we're just about wrapped up for the night. And unfortunately, we have to take a little break. We're not going to be streaming until Wednesday. That's going to be so long. I don't know if I can take it. But you know what? That's what happens when you have the best around. There's only so many days in the week that we can stream, and we're going to bring it back on Wednesday, where I think I might be show hosting. I don't know, but we'll figure it out during then. But this has been Santos. We've had our casters, and we had a wonderful night. Follow us all on Twitter. Follow the Twitch stream. Do whatever you want. Go to bed. Go take a bath, and have a wonderful day.